Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of the Unbreakable Sentai podcast. I'm James.
Ooh, I'm Darius.
And I'm Noah.
I wasn't expecting you to start just then.
That's all right. You know, I did that on purpose.
Yeah.
Yeah. What number are we on?
Purpose.
41?
Marine
43.
Oh.
Dude, it's crazy. We had that week off, and you still are one behind. Like your body knows that it's one, or two behind what it is, even if we have another thing in between. It's just perfectly fair. I'm just gonna jump in with fucking the fact that Nintendo fucked up. I'm just gonna hop right into
What are you
it.
talking about, James? Nintendo can do no wrong.
Yeah, Nintendo can do no wrong except for when
They're the greatest
fuck
game
everything
company in the world.
up.
All they do is give us gifts, and we should get on our knees and thank them every day. Have you ever played Mario?
Yeah, I played most of them.
Have you ever played Zelda?
Most of them suck.
Where
they
would we be without Nintendo?
Now that's a deeper question. Z targeting is everybody loves it. No, Nintendo Online just fucked up their entire expansion pass bullshit and made it a trial to do anything right with it ever.
Yeah.
And it's like, good job, guys. The only reason that you have to increase your price, it doesn't work perfectly. So why did you increase the price? And Nintendo has said nothing the last week and a half. So everyone's just like, what are you doing?
Do you think it would be better for Nintendo if they would only charge $10 extra and the games were kind of fucked up? No one would care as much.
Absolutely. If it was $30 for one person, $45 for the family plan with the NSO bullshit, and the games didn't work that great, I don't think people would be that upset. But
I mean, they shouldn't be charging at all.
You're right. You're 100% right.
Shouldn't be charging an entire new game's worth for shit you can play for free on your computer.
Yep.
There's no reason.
It's bullshit. Nintendo just doesn't get it.
That's why they're cease and desisting everything, so they can milk you dry.
Yep. Dude, the worst part too, as I was thinking about this, is it's kind of the fans' fault that we're in this situation, which sucks. So Nintendo on the Wii, they brought out all the games, and you had to buy them and whatever. Everyone was like, okay, cool, we get to play the classics. These are the games we wanted to play. But then on the Wii U, we had to rebuy them because they were updated. So if you wanted to play Super Metroid on your Wii U, you had to buy the updated version of it that had the gamepad support and all that shit. And people were like, this is bullshit. Why do I have to pay you for this game again when I just paid for it on the previous console?
Right.
And then if you wanted it on the the 3DS, you had to pay for it again because you didn't have linked access.
Right.
And so they were like, fine, fuck it, we'll do a service. And people were like, yeah, service should be fine. And then they fucked up the service by not releasing games quick enough and not really releasing games at all, especially not ones that people care about playing. And that's not necessarily Nintendo's fault, depending on the game. But it's the fans kind of told them we don't want to pay for the games individually anymore, so they went with this. And now the fans are like, fuck, it would be so much nicer if we could just pay for the games we wanted. And Nintendo kind of has to go
Well,
you didn't want that. Yeah.
Idiots.
So, I get where they're coming from, but that doesn't absolve them from the fact that they fucked this up. So, that's all I had to say. Had to get that out of my system.
I don't know. I think Nintendo is genius, and they understand that their fans will buy anything.
They're the Apple of video games.
Yeah.
100%.
So I mean, they're fucking doing it, man. Those fans will defend Nintendo till the end of fucking time.
Ryan.
Yeah.
So.
Fucking Ryan.
Dude, I don't understand that kind of loyalty. That's insane.
Yeah, no
With,
brand has my
Xbox,
soul like that.
Yeah. I mean, Sony, but if Microsoft makes a good game, I'm not gonna shit on it just because it's Microsoft.
Yeah.
You know?
Exactly. My identity is not Nintendo.
Yeah, right. I definitely have a favorite, but I'm not held to it.
fucking
They're my
stupid.
favorite because they earned it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They did.
They're not my
good
favorite
choices.
because they're a name.
But Nintendo makes the red logo.
They
The
go
logo
click.
look good.
What's your favorite Nintendo franchise?
Franchise F-Zero.
I'm so sorry, my sweet summer child.
I guess probably Pokemon, but recently I've just not really cared that much about Pokemon.
How you feel about Arceus?
I don't know. Some of the designs are shit. Like, you see the new Scyther.
So garbage.
All with
think
axes
of-
on his hands?
Yeah, fucking like cartoon axes taped to his fucking hands. Like, what? And then you see Zoroark.
They're just white now.
Yeah, they're just white with like red tipped hair, and they took like the liquefy tool to their hair to pull strands out of it, and that's all the work they did on that design. I was like, it's kind of boring.
You can't say that.
Growlithe looks cool though.
Oh, is there a new Growlithe?
Yeah, he looks like
Awesome.
a stone lion.
I think your mic's pointed slightly too up.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh.
It's got to point like right at your mouth. Just from my angle, it looked like it was
Sure.
aiming at nose. So I don't know.
But yeah, the Growlithe looks like a stone lion, which is cool.
Oh, like the statue?
Yeah.
Okay, that's yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he looks dope as
Is he
fuck.
rock type?
I think he's rock fire.
Nice.
Yeah, Fire Rock.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty dope.
Yeah. Like, they actually put work into that design. They changed him. And then they just turned Zoroark and Zoro white with red. Like, they didn't do anything.
Are you gonna get the Diamond Pearl remake?
Probably not. I don't have, like, any want to...
So that's the original
Yeah.
Darius. And then that's what it looks like now.
Is he Ice Fairy?
I think he's
He's
ice.
normal. He's something ghost.
Tyler was saying that his theme was, like, blood in the snow or something. Which is dope, but I don't know. I think they could have done more with the design, personally.
He's normal ghost. So.
That's boring as fuck.
Yep.
Normal ghost? How does that make sense?
Because he's normal, man. It's fine. Don't worry that those are diametrically opposed. It's fine.
You're right. That's so weird. If he has like the same ability, I'll probably be even more angry.
Yeah.
It's so low effort. I don't mean to shit, like actually shit on them. Like, I don't really care, I guess,
But you can smell when something is low effort.
yeah.
And when you see low effort from $1 billion fucking company, you go, okay, guys.
yeah.
What's your favorite Nintendo franchise? James? Or Nintendo franchise. I said franchise. I said franchise weird the first time.
I didn't think you did. That's why I was confused when
I
you
didn't
said it a
notice
second
it.
time. Yeah. I don't know. It's probably Metroid. It's either Metroid or like...
Nerd.
Well, it's either Metroid or the games that we're never going to see another one of. Custom Robo.
Yeah.
You know, like, but I don't know if you could even call that a franchise if they haven't had
Right.
anything in fucking 30 years.
I mean, is there more than one Custom Robo, or is there just one?
There's 3.
It's a franchise, huh?
3 or 4. But yeah, I'm never going to see it again.
Yeah. I'd say Pokemon's my favorite because of my memories, but currently it's not that I don't care about Pokemon. I'm just not that enthused about it anymore.
We grew up.
Yeah.
We need a little bit more substance to our shit that we buy.
Yeah, dude. I've been thinking about that recently. Just like my want to play games has just gone down significantly.
Yeah.
And like recently I've only been playing games that like challenge me, like either like
In some
mentally or like I don't know, something with like meat to it, like how we got into Valorant for like 4 months and I was like labbing for like 5 hours a day
Yep.
trying to find lineups for Viper. That was fun, but yeah.
I feel the same way. I've just been lazily looking at the games I have on my Switch and playing things until like neat things come out. Because like part of me wants to hop on and play like PC games with you guys,
Yeah.
but I'm like,
I haven't.
it's over there.
Yeah. Like
Might just
I've
be
been playing
depression.
Monster Hunter with my friend, but other than that, I guess I played Inscryption recently, which is
Yeah.
a new like horror card game,
right?
which is dope. The mood's super cool.
It's a game that I keep like I want to be interested in. You know, like I haven't looked up any videos, but I'm like, damn, that looks like it sounds like it's
You'd like
really
it,
good.
for sure.
Did you get it on Steam?
Yeah.
So I have it.
Yeah. It's like pseudo puzzle, also kind of a roguelite experience.
I mean, I'm a fan of all of those things you just said at me.
It's
so.
pretty cool.
Is it competitive or just like?
Nah, it's single player.
It's like a story thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Like the majority of the appeal is kind of like the mystery behind it. So,
Download it right now.
so unless like I guess you want spoilers, I can talk about it. But I can talk about like mechanics, I guess.
I'd say go for gold. Talk about whatever you want on it.
Oh, sure. I guess spoilers for Inscryption then.
Yeah.
But I guess I haven't beaten it. I got to the second phase of the game. Like the first phase is what you see like right now, where you're playing with like this weird mushroom forest man. And if you lose, like he kills your character,
This
but
thing?
no.
Oh.
Well, yes. That is the guy that you're playing with.
Is that the weird mushroom man?
The guy that you play across from, it's kind of like he plays a board game with you, and the only time you ever see his face is when he switches masks for like events and stuff.
Okay.
So, but once you like lose, he like kills your character, but he makes you make a death card, which he'll like pull out 3 cards from your deck, and then he'll be like, pick the cost from one of these cards to put on this death card, and then he picks another 3, and you're like, pick the attack and defense that you want from these 3 cards to put on this death card. And then the last one is like the abilities for it. So then you get to be able to use that death card on future runs.
Okay.
And I made one that was a free 3/3 with triple strike, which literally wins the game if it hits 3 empty zones at any point. Because you only need like 5 to win, and if you take 5 damage, then you lose. So at 9, unless you're lost, like you just win.
Nice. That seems like a good card.
Yeah. But the final boss, one of the phases is that he exclusively uses death cards. So if you make really strong ones, he can play those. It's a pretty fun game.
That sounds like super unique too, which is
Yeah.
nice. I know, because I remember that this is made by the Pony Island guy, like
I
that
have no
weird.
idea.
It's like a weird game that pretends that it's an arcade game called Pony Island, but it's like a weird esoteric horror game
Sure.
where like the game bugs out on you and like a whole bunch of crazy shit happens.
Sure.
Yeah,
they kind of do some of that stuff. Like when you boot up the game, you can't. The new game option is like blanked out, and you have to like continue, and then it just kind of like jumps you in.
that seems pretty neat.
And then the new game you like unlock once you beat the guy, and you go to like the second phase.
You okay?
Yeah, I'm okay.
And the second phase is cool because it's like the Pokemon TCG game on Game Boy Color, where you're like walking around a map and you get to collect cards and build your deck and stuff.
Oh, that's actually pretty
Yeah,
dope.
that sounds super cool.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
So when you're done with this, you might like this other game. There's 2 of them, but it's called Hands of Fate. And it's a similar thing like that, where you're playing against a guy, and he's like a wizard. I don't remember the exact story, but you're
Sure.
playing against him to do something. And he sets a map in front of you, and it's like a D&D adventure where you move between cards, and each card is an event, but you make the event deck. So you build the
Okay.
events, but there are some cards that he locks into your deck until you complete them.
Sure.
And then as you unlock, like, beat things the correct way, you unlock more cards to throw into your deck. And you have to fight, like, all these different types of, like, monsters.
Right.
And they're like the suits. So you fight, like, the Queen of Dust and the Jack of Dust, and they're, like, thieves. And it's pretty neat, but it's similar. Except the combat, when you get into actual combat, plays kind of like an adventure, like, action game. Where, like, you're actually dodge rolling and swinging at real enemies that he, like, draws for you out of his enemy deck.
Sure.
So, but you might be interested in that.
Yeah, that sounds fun. One thing I didn't like about Inscryption is that in the beginning, you have to like sacrifice monsters to play ones, and there are talking cards. And as soon as you sacrifice like one of them, he starts talking to you, and on like the next one, he's like, "Why the fuck did you sacrifice me?" And I was like, "Oh shit, maybe I need to be like, careful about who I sacrifice and stuff."
Yeah.
So I was like super careful to like only sacrifice like things you're supposed to sacrifice, and it didn't fucking matter. Like I was literally making the game harder because I felt bad for sacrificing a fucking monster.
Handicapped yourself out of just actual human emotion.
Yeah. I was kind of mad because I was like, dude, I could have like beaten this just outright if I played differently.
I could have had lethal on you, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds dope though.
Yeah.
Like it made you care, and that's kind of like
Yeah.
interesting.
But like, I don't know. When like that's cool that they did that, but the fact that it impacted how I played the game kind of fucked me over.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it's just I'm empathetic, and people were like, "Whatever, who gives a shit?
Yeah.
I'm gonna kill you anyway."
I mean, when a card talks to you, when you sacrifice it, that's something new right there.
Yeah, right.
Like, you know how many times I've like just let monsters go out and die in Magic and didn't give a fuck. If you talk bad to me, I'll be like,
Shit, maybe I shouldn't swing.
Right. Yeah, you bring something back from your graveyard, and the card's like, bruh.
Yeah.
That hurt, man.
One thing about the talking cards is that whenever you draw it, he like talks to you for like 10 seconds, and it's like, dude, I just like your sacrifice like right now. Like I don't need you. Like just let me play the game.
So you can't skip the like his dialogue.
Yeah, it's weird.
Brutal.
Yeah.
Like I get it if he wants like to make it say something important, but like if it doesn't matter, at least let you like, you know.
Right.
Make it a hidden option in the options menu, right? Like being able to skip dialogue. So it's automatically unchecked, but then you can check it. I think that's the best way to handle something like that. So the reason Darius asked me if I was like okay is Killer 7. The Suda 51 game is on sale on Steam, but I'm still salty because I want it to be on Switch. It's not. So I could buy it.
Doesn't Capcom own that game?
I don't think it's Capcom, but it might be. I'm not sure who owns it. All I know is it's good.
It's not on Switch.
And it's not on Switch. Which is weird because it came out on the GameCube.
Sorry.
It's fine. I don't want to play it on the PC because it's too easy on PC.
You just, with the mouse, just destroy everything.
Exactly. Because you need to hit the weak points to kill enemies and like level up properly in that game. And using a controller, like they designed it for you having a controller so you can beat the final boss in like 30 seconds because you're just like click, 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 click. Like, you weren't designed for a mouse control. Sorry. It's weird thinking that like some games actually like play properly on console, you know? Like just because of the way they were designed.
Yeah.
Why don't you play with a controller on PC?
I could do that. Then there's the other problem if I don't want to sit in this room for that long.
I mean, I can't argue against that.
Here's the thing. If Trisha went away for a week, I'd probably do exactly that.
Just go in here and play.
Come in here and just fucking zone out and just play a bunch of dog shit.
Yeah.
But, like, I don't want to have to come in here and be like, hey, Trisha, welcome back from work at 5:30. You're not going to see me until 8. Oh. Great. So. Well, Darius, you got some shit to talk about? I know what we're going to talk about all together with Noah here. Yeah. That's a guarantee.
Yeah, I've been listening to this podcast called Hardcore History. And I think you'll probably like it. No, actually. And it's just this dude sits down and he records his podcast for they're like in 3 to 4 hour chunks. It's ridiculous. And right now he's covering the like Pacific part of the World War II. Like more toward like what Asia was doing in World War II. And I talked to Amy and James about this, and they kind of made me feel stupid because every time I talk to them, they're like, "Yeah, we know this. Yeah, we knew all this." Cause I'm like, either I missed this day at school or I just wasn't paying attention. But like,
it's just front loaded one day.
Yeah, it's like all this history of like Japan and like how they were secluded for I don't know 3,000 years, and then they kind of just got opened up to the world in like 1800s, and then they pretty much had to play catch up.
Yeah, didn't they like embargo everybody from entering?
Yeah, and then some American assholes just showed up.
Was
It was like
before or after they fucked with China?
Before, yeah. And I didn't know that.
Korea.
Yeah,
yeah.
They really fucked Korea.
Yeah.
I didn't know that China was so split up.
Oh yeah.
At that time.
Yeah,
I never really
was like Britain coming into kind of like establishing like a new system, or trying to, or like they removed like Hong Kong or something from like.
I don't know about that.
Something
wasn't
like that.
like yeah.
But
I don't know. I'm talking about my ass right now.
That's what the podcast is about.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you.
No, you're good. But yeah, like China. I didn't really think about what China was doing during World War II.
Sure.
It's mostly like, oh yeah, America kicked their ass.
Yeah.
But China, everybody had their fingers in like China, like as in like the countries, and like China was like split up and just couldn't like really be their own. And I know like Japan was like fucking with China heavily, and Russia was fucking with China heavily. And pretty much like from what I'm understanding from what this history podcast is telling me is that China didn't start to become their own and come together until after World War II. And it's like it's kind of sad when you think about it. And like I guess I want to. What it kind of made me realize that like China today, they do a lot of bad shit. China's China, right? You know, like there's slavery over there,
communism.
Yeah,
bullshit.
they kill a lot of people. But after listening to this podcast, I feel like China is also like Japan, where they finally got their shit together and they have their own thing, and they're trying to play catch up with the rest of the world as well. And to be on a level with the rest of the world of like United States and like Europe and stuff, they gotta do what they can to be a big player in the game, which is they're a big player in the game now. But without all the shit they've been doing, would they be as big as a player? And I guess I'm posing the question if like, is it like as bad as like we make it out to be? Because I understand where China's coming from, where we want to do all this shit to get on the same level as everybody else. Because for your country, you want to like be a bigger country. That's just how the world works. You want to like be on a level as everyone else. And I know like the shit is terrible. The shit's evil. But at the same time, they got to like learn from their mistakes as well. Because they haven't really had time to learn from their mistakes as well. Because everybody's been pushing and pulling from them for so long that they haven't really been one. Because when you think about it, World War II ended in like the late 1940s, I believe.
Yeah, I think 46 is like technically when the day of World War II is over was.
And I don't know when China got the shit together and like actually became one. Do you know? So they've had what?
Yeah, it's been pretty young.
50 years minimum to like get this shit together.
Yeah, but they're also like kind of doing it the wrong way, right? Like they're authoritarian to like the highest degree. They're kind of like using their population as a resource to kind of get them.
Totally,
there,
you're exactly right. They are
credit score. And whatnot.
That's fucked up.
They are doing it the wrong way, but at the same time,
yeah, it feels like I don't know.
How would you do it?
Kind of trying to rush there, right?
Which they are, but at the same time, like America had over 200 years to get to where they are, and China's had less than 50 or maybe 50 at minimum.
Yeah.
Which is like like I said, they're trying to play catch up with the rest of the world. Like, you compare yourself to Britain, they've had thousands of years to get their shit together and be like, you know what? Maybe doing our people like this is not okay. Maybe slavery is wrong.
It's just the way you put that was like, in my head, I was like, you heard it here first, folks. Darius says that if you're a new country, you get at least a couple of years of slavery.
You
It's
need at least
expected.
a civil war before you can
Yeah.
step up to the podium.
It's okay to use slaves, but only for about 50 years.
But that's the thing. Like, the same thing kind of happened with Japan, because I didn't know all the shit with Japan. Like, Japan was trying to play catch up as well with the rest of the world. And that's, like you talked about the Korea shit. Korea was a way for them to step up. Mm-hmm. They used Korea to step themselves up in the view of the rest of the world, which is understandable for when you're the head, when you're trying to make a country.
Yeah.
Yeah, but why would you want to like
I'm not saying it's
what's
right.
the goal? Right?
Yeah.
What you say?
Like, what's the goal for them? Like, what's the, like
for
the
Japan
positive...
or China?
Well, I guess either. Just like trying to like step over people, right?
At the time,
using that method.
Yeah.
At the time, Japan was like.
But like, what are they trying to like achieve by doing this, right? Like to rub shoulders.
Kind of.
Like it doesn't seem like it's.
When they look at Britain, they see Britain as like, yo, you're top dog, and you got all these colonies and stuff, and you pretty much got everything. We want a seat at the table, but to have a seat at the table, we need to have colonies too.
Yeah,
and we need to like.
What I'm asking is, what do they eat at the table?
Countries, people.
Yeah, but what does this like give them? I guess I don't know.
It gives them the powers.
Clout.
Yeah.
Humanity is based on clout, and that's depressing.
Yeah, but it seems so worthless to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but we're not running a country at the same time.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because like
Japan's
Japan's
country, you focus on your country instead of trying to ruin other countries to make yourself bigger, right? I think you should have like your intention should be towards your population first instead of, I guess, like in a way that's towards their population because they're trying to, I don't know.
It's also a rough thing because like we can talk about this a bunch, but it's like because maybe originally it was for their people, right? But it's like, oh shit, we need food or we need like materials.
Right.
Well, it's the quickest way to do that. We could take it from somebody. They're small.
China has a lot of resources. Japan does not have a lot of resources. That's what the podcast he was saying. He was like, they have like
Material.
some copper,
Sure,
but they don't have any like they barely have any oil.
Oh yeah,
barely have any like rubber and stuff.
And like they barely have any iron. All of the iron that they had to use was like metal shavings that they fucking get from rivers and shit. That's why they had to make katanas the way they did. They had shit iron.
Yeah.
And they had to find a process to make that iron not shit.
Right. Consolidate it.
Exactly. So it's like, what's the fastest way to get something that you don't have? Well, that motherfucker's got it, and they look chumpy. I'm gonna go take their lunch money, and it's like, I get it, because it's like you have the good intentions for your people,
right?
And like, if you don't want to trade, because trade means that you will have to sacrifice things that you have for yourself in order to gain other things, then it's like, fuck it, I'll just take that shit.
Right.
So it's brutal.
It is super brutal, but also it's like this weird human nature thing of course you want to be on top, of course you want shit just like everyone else. I don't know, man. It's like a weird, messed up situation that when you're head of a country, what are you supposed to do? Especially like the Emperor of Japan. Like you said, you want to uplift your people, but your country's poor. Your soldiers fight good though. You got samurai people. Korea doesn't. Let's take them out. Yeah. But so China, they were getting pushed and pulled from so many directions, but they finally got their shit together. is China as bad as anyone else with what the shit they're doing? Like,
Depends.
America was just as bad 200 years ago.
Hmm.
So,
I guess here's the thing, right? And this is what a lot of people are saying, or like trying to say, is it's like, are they any worse than anyone else was? It's debatable if you look at certain aspects, like the social credit or the whatever, right? Like, you can debate that. But it's the fact of, like, you shouldn't go about this way because you know it's wrong
Yeah.
now, right? Like
The end goal is
know
not
it's
going to
wrong.
be the same.
Yeah.
but you also the fear of like China probably is like, yo, we just got established. We need to be a big player, because if we're not a big player, we seen what happens. Russia will come here and take our shit. Japan will come here and take our shit. So it's a fucked situation.
Yeah.
Like, fuck, dude.
Yeah, you're asking the hard questions.
I didn't. This whole time, I thought China was just a bad guy. And I didn't know.
You got trumped.
I
You got trumped. You know?
didn't know
Trump
China
too.
was split apart and not and just like pretty much crippled for so many years, and they're finally just now getting on their feet.
But they like are a player, right? Like they influence even like our media,
Now, yeah.
right?
Yeah, now they do, because China is like, America wouldn't know what the fuck to do without China right now.
Yeah.
Like
Our manufacturing would be fucked. For
yeah,
sure.
and we're always borrowing money from them and shit. Like, China most definitely is a huge fucking player now. But
And that's kind of the whole great thing is, well, once you become a player, right, you're finally sitting at the table, and after you've done everything that it took to get to that table, you start looking around and going, why are these guys above me? Well, I could take them down a peg, you know, and that's just how that cycle works. It's like, you're weak. You know how you can get strong by doing some shady shit. You become strong. You're with the other strong people, and then you go, yeah, but what if I ran it? And then you get a world war, you know? Because that was Germany. Germany was in a horrible, horrible financial situation. Hitler brought them out of their recession or depression. And then he did it in like a really good way, and everyone was like, man, how great.
We love this guy.
Yeah.
And then he's like, we should murder everybody. And we're like, well, if it worked the first time.
Might as well work a second time, exactly. Because it's like, what if Germany was a major player, right? What if you weren't poor anymore, like you just were, that we just got out of, and everyone went, yeah, let's take Italy's shit, you know, let's take Poland's shit, and that's the cycle, you know.
yeah, dude. I mean, I don't know. It was kind of like discovering some whole new shit of like seeing.
Opening your third eye.
Yeah, a little bit. Like, I understand China. I understand where they're coming from. I understand the fucking argument of like, yo, we need to do this shit to try to be a player of the world because we finally made it. And like, who can't relate to I was down but now I'm a top dog? Everybody wants that.
Yeah.
So, and
Shit, Hollywood was built off that concept.
like America, like, you know, judges them for this shit, but America's arguably worse. Like, look at slavery. Look what we did to the Indians. America fucking sucks.
Well, I mean, that's the other thing too, is that's how everybody is. Because if you look back at like the fucking dynasties of China, right? Everybody was just trying to kill every other person so that they could be on top, and like they enslaved other people with like the dynasties and stuff. Like that's
The
just
Russians invented that shit.
yeah, goddamn right. But yeah, it's like that's the question: is like, are they worse? No, they're not better. Everybody's exactly the same, but we don't want to admit that because it's us versus them, and that's a lot easier to handle.
Yeah, it's easier to fight an enemy than, I guess, share.
Exactly.
Which is ridiculous.
Even or even not necessarily share, but just like empathy, right?
Yeah.
Because like if we could empathize with those countries, which we can. Like you're saying, we did the same shit. We know exactly what it
Yeah.
feels like and what it's like. And it's like, Americans just always want to be, or like other countries want to be like, oh, well, we're just much more refined now. And it's like,
Rather
motherfucker, less than
take
100
than
years
give.
ago, there were slaves.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck do you mean?
Here's that Shane Gillis joke. He
Yeah.
was talking about the football team and how they like included black people, and
Yeah.
they're like, yeah, I don't know if you should celebrate it because you find out that was in like 1971. It's like we've been to the moon at that point.
Yeah, that was a rock solid joke from that guy.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like, they went from decades of oppression to like, oh shit, the high school's 4-0. Those are my brothers.
But yeah, dude. Another question I gotta like ask is like, I know like the world's kind of at peace right now.
I mean, it's amicable, I guess.
Yeah. There is no major war at the moment that we're aware of. Correct.
Yeah.
That is the nicest way to put it.
But like,
We did just recently get out of a 10-year fucking of the Middle East, and we aren't even fully
it's
out.
20 years, dude.
Yeah, you're right. Desert Storm.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if you want to call that peace, we can.
But I don't know. I remember I talked to James. I was like, "Yo, China's fucking scary. China's like fucking huge, and they get the shit together. They can take us out." And James was like, "Nah, we don't got to worry about war. We're good."
Yeah, we don't have to worry about a war of that scale.
But why?
It's because of mutually assured destruction. We all have nukes, and if America legitimately thinks that we are about to lose a war on our home soil, Americans are pieces of shit and they will just launch nukes. And every other country with nukes knows that, which is why, like, if a
Dude,
nuke
America's
gets launched...
so gunned up, like,
yeah.
taking American soil is going to be difficult, period.
And, like, especially after 9/11, we're watching that shit.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to say it like this, but, like, a Pearl Harbor is not going to happen again.
No.
Where a actual, like, invasion force came and
Yeah,
fucked
out of the
stuff
blue,
up.
some bullshit.
Exactly. Like, it cannot happen again. So we'll know when it's going to happen, and then shit's going to go, like... But a full-scale, like, World War II style war. I might be wrong. I hope I'm not. But I don't think it's going to happen again. Because just everybody's aware of the situation of... If a war of that scale breaks out,
We're all
humanity is dead.
dead. Yeah.
And everyone agrees. Which is why, like, with North Korea testing nukes, that's a problem or whatever. But, like, every other country goes,
Yeah, well, they shot a
You
missile
can't
over
use them.
South Korea
yeah.
just to fuck around.
And it's like, you guys are displaying, that's cool. We know you can't use them because you aren't prepared for you guys to vanish.
Yeah. Could like heard like interesting thing, interesting I guess, but just like a perspective of like Korea's dictatorship, and that like they're kind of forced into a position where they have to keep choking the people because if they let up, they're fucking dead.
Yep.
So now they're just almost perpetually in this dictatorship.
They've got to keep the
Yeah,
out.
I
They can't get
looked
out
up
of.
last week. I was like, how the fuck does North Korea make their money? And they really don't.
No.
They like beg China and Russia for money when they run out of money, and then they like threaten to like nuke people, and Russia, China just like gives them money to shut them up.
Yeah, yeah.
Like the way that the guy described it as the annoying kid that asked you for your chips on the playground.
But he was bigger than you, so you were kind of like, eh. Probably. I don't know.
No, yeah. It's... Yeah. Yeah.
So is China a bad guy though? That's also something I want to ask because America poses
guy to
China
us.
as a bad guy, huh?
I said they're a bad guy to the U.S. That's because that's what America does. So, I mean, I don't know, man. Morality's hard to question, isn't it?
Yeah, I don't.
Because here's the thing. America is a bad guy. Europe is a bad guy.
Yeah, if you go in the Middle
Russia's a
East,
bad guy.
you're gonna.
Yeah.
Like,
Depends on who you ask.
Yep.
right?
What's a better way to China? What's it like? Can China do a better way? I
Oh,
guess.
sure.
I mean, sure, but I don't fucking know anything about politics.
Exactly.
Running a country, so
And it's like, is there an easier way that does the exact same results that they're looking for?
probably not.
Probably not. Because being able to, like, hear what you said about the government and then make it so you can't buy a house now, it's a pretty easy way to make people not talk shit about the government.
Yeah.
So,
It's a fucked up position, James. I don't like it.
no, welcome to the world.
Oh,
Darius, you just stepped in,
Yeah, don't
man.
don't rabbit hole this, man.
Yeah.
Stay innocent.
If you want to become depressed, keep reading. Or you can do what I do and just go, it's good.
Everything's fine.
Everything's fine. I'm gonna jerk off and I'm gonna read a book and I'm gonna play some video games. And if I wake up dead tomorrow, it happened. Like,
yeah, you're right.
it's a very nihilistic viewpoint, I feel, but like, I'm pretty good with nihilism.
Yeah.
Nihilism's pretty dope. The big give up is
Yeah.
nihilism.
Acceptance of what happens.
Yep.
If Germany would have won the war, what position do you think they'll be in today? Do you think they'll be just
What
a little
position
bit?
would Germany be in?
Yeah. Do you think they'll just be a little bit better off now, or do you think they'll be hugely better off?
That's a.
I don't even
Would
know
Japan-
where
I wouldn't even know where to
Germany's at.
start.
Would Japan have taken China and there would be no China anymore?
I think Japan would have taken the United States.
Yeah, that's true. But no, I mean that's a fucking crazy question. I don't even know how to answer that. You know, that's as crazy of a question as asking what if Hitler didn't exist. Like, how different would today be if there was no Hitler? Like, I couldn't even fucking fathom.
Yeah.
I would think someone else would have just taken his place and did the same shit.
It's either that or Germany just would keep going down and down and down. You know, until somebody decided to invade them because it was easy. Yeah, but yeah, then that'd be the same shit pretty much.
Yeah.
So, that's a tough call, man. You asked a very strong question that I won't even begin to answer.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like Germany probably would have like,
Play Wolfenstein.
I don't know, like I feel like they probably would have had to stop at a certain point because you can only go so far with however many like troops you do have.
Yep.
You know, we probably would have had to like sign a peace agreement. I don't know, I think America would have been fine, but Eurasia probably would have been more fucked
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
Germany would be a hell of a lot bigger, for
Yeah.
sure.
They'd be the UK. You know?
They would be Europe minus what?
Yeah,
Italy?
It'd be
I don't fucking.
the Great Germanic Empire is what it would be called.
Yeah.
Like, big just section of the map changed.
Yeah. That's all I had. I just had to pose those questions. I've been super into this podcast.
Yeah.
And this history shit.
Yeah, man, that's the problem with history is that, like, when you like look at history objectively and you realize that there is no black and white, it's like that moment of like, oh fuck, am I the bad guy? Oh fuck, we are the bad guy.
Yeah.
Shit. You know?
I don't know. It feels like when you look at it like from like a religion standpoint, this huge game of the world and politics is just so fucked that there's nothing you can really do. You just gotta like do the best you can every day with what you have.
Yep.
Because no matter what, everything's fucked. And everybody's gonna try to step on everybody else. And if I don't know, the game feels rigged.
Dang. What would happen if there was a revolution in America?
Revolution for what?
Anything.
Like our shitty political system that nobody likes. I mean, like, if Americans revolted, that'd make us a target, right?
Yeah. Yeah, if like the government got fully destabilized, we would absolutely just get somebody would do something.
Yeah.
Canada.
Yeah.
They've been holding that knife for too long, dude.
We've come to take your country, eh?
That's something I don't know about either. Canada's also is like obviously was French territory, but they just became their own country. Are they allies with the French? With French?
Americans
Right now?
was European country.
Canada. Are they part of France? Like,
I believe they like settled there for sure.
Yeah, well, it depends on where you're at too, because like Quebec is very French Canadian,
Yeah.
where like people in certain places legitimately like
Just
exclusively
straight
talk French.
Yeah.
So it's like,
yeah, that's what I'm saying. If America did vote and we were vulnerable, Canada took us.
I don't think France would want to own America.
Why
If
not?
that's where you were getting at, France is too small to
French,
govern America.
but French owned a lot of America before
Yeah,
America
now they don't.
took over. But that's what I'm asking. Like, is Canada like? Are they allied with France? Where they're?
I think they're as allied with France as they are with us. I think they don't hold any like love for someone the entire world away. You know,
Yeah.
they're not in bed with them, so to speak.
Yeah, nobody likes the French anyway.
Exactly. Fucking cowards. Good French jokes.
Yeah, in the podcast I'm listening to, he says French is like nothing
He
at
jabs them.
the moment of like the 1940s. He's like, they used to be the big dicks, but they're not. They
Yeah.
barely have a dick now.
Well, yeah, because
Well, they have
what
that
happened?
monument. Probably compensating.
It's true. Yeah, the only good thing they are is making that. 'Cause isn't the Statue of Liberty from France?
I believe so.
So like, they make good statues. No, because that's what they did in World War II. The Germans came in and they went sup, and they went take it.
It's yours.
They literally didn't fight. They just went, you occupied, you got it. And everyone went, what the fuck? And they went, we couldn't win. Look. So
If you guys were born when World War II popped off, would you have joined the army to fight?
Yeah, I would have had a choice.
Dave's got a good point.
Yeah, but
In
would
the
you
draft.
would you have been wanting to? Would you be
No.
excited for that after seeing what happened with Pearl
Absolutely
Harbor?
not. No, absolutely not.
No? You neither.
No.
I wouldn't have been okay with them imprisoning all the Japanese people in this country
Yep.
for that anyway. So
Like that,
No, I don't think I would have.
Oh, what's his name? David Inoue? Is that his name? The like super famous
I know.
Japanese
Yeah.
person who was like, I want to fight, and they're like, you can't. You're Japanese. And he went, oh, that's fucked up. And they're like, we don't care. Go away. Like you could be a traitor. We don't know.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? That's America though. Did
Yeah.
it during 9/11 too.
Yeah, that's all I got.
So if you want a very interesting, since you're into this sort of thing, Ender's Game, like the series, or like the books afterwards, after Ender's Game, the Shadow series that I was telling you about, and it's the one about Bean, the little kid. Those are all about like world politics and how like a war might happen, and like that's what it's all about. And it's a very, very interesting. Like that's part of what makes those books interesting, is it's people trying to figure out how do we make this war not happen, you know? Because it's like people get pieces of like the pie, so to speak, of like these kids who are battle geniuses, and they're like, they kind of start jonesing, and they're like, well, we've got one of the great people who fought in the Great War. They could command us. Well, what could they do for us? Like if they're commanding our army, we'd win everything,
Yeah.
you know? And it's like, yeah. You got power. Everybody's got to play for it now, you know? Doesn't matter how small your army is if your commander's such a genius level that he can outmaneuver whatever. So, it's super, super interesting. So,
I'll actually probably check that out.
yeah. Fun stuff. Talking
Yeah.
about war and how America sucks. How the world sucks. It's
Yeah.
cool. Game's rigged. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't know. We live in this weird time where like war isn't as like crazy as it was. And people aren't just like conquering other people.
And the fear of war isn't even necessarily there.
Yeah.
I think that's because of the invention of like media,
Probably.
like the way it is now, just with like information just being ready as soon as it happens.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes it really hard to do anything without everyone else knowing.
Right.
You just think about satellite data, right? Like, the second 10 ships from some country go off, you know there's a phone call that goes, is there a reason you have 10 ships that just left your airbase and they're heading in any direction whatsoever?
Yeah.
You've never done this before. It's like, oh, that's just, they're landing. Like, just so you know, I do have my finger above a button. I'm not going to tell you what the button is, but it is a button. But it is
red.
Yeah. Routine inspection. They're landing. We're sorry. And like every country has that fuck you button.
Yeah.
That they just rub it like it's fucking erotic, you know? Like
yeah, that's it. You guys want to talk about Dune?
Yeah, I was gonna say let's switch from modern day politics to future politics.
That is applicable still. Where do we start? It was a really good adaptation.
Yeah, the Dune movie was fantastic.
Yeah, we went and saw it last week.
IMAX was worth it. Seats were shit. Fuck, I'm sorry. I had to like fucking.
I mean, you have no control of the seats. You didn't.
To be
know.
fair, that's a nice AMC, and I was like, a nice AMC is gonna have a nice IMAX because IMAX is that premium experience.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I thought they'd have the reclining chairs.
Yep.
But they were like luxury 10 fucking.
Real talk, if I had known that was like where we were going to go IMAX, because I remembered the seats weren't the good ones. The AMC by Lucky Monk, that really nice restaurant, they have the IMAX with those nice comfy seats, because that's what I went to go see like the Avengers at.
Sure.
So we could have just gone to that one, and it's not that much further away. So my bad.
Yeah.
Then you could have went to Lucky Monk after.
Exactly. That's my shit.
True. Fuck. The acting was amazing. Like all the performances were great.
Yeah.
I thought the soundtrack was fucking incredible.
It's Hans Zimmer, dude. Dude's a goat.
Top tier. He's amazing.
Yeah.
The soundtrack was crazy, man.
This is the first score that I've willingly just listened to on Spotify afterwards.
I listened to it like before the movie came out. Like it was out like a month or two before. Like they released a few tracks on the soundtrack, and then they released the entirety of the Dune sketchbook, which was the vinyl that they made for it, and then they released the rest of it before the movie came out.
Yeah, the movie was great.
Few omissions and changes. Most of the changes were fine, but I feel like the Jessica Trader thing's gonna bite them in the ass.
Absolutely. I feel like, I mean, I know I talked to you guys about this, but I feel like how they treated Jessica's character is going to bite them in the ass.
Yeah.
Not even necessarily.
She's a bit of a punk instead of like a mentor.
Yeah.
Almost.
And her spoilers for the Dune movie, obviously. Just her whole thing of like, we have to get off planet, is it's like that's making her character too much of a jump.
Yeah.
In what her like it's gonna
also Cheney saying that she didn't believe Paul was the Lisan al Gaib was fucking weird.
I didn't catch that. She said that.
Yeah, before he fought Jameis, when Cheney was talking to him, she opened with that. She's like, I don't think you're the Lisan al Gaib, but it's good that you're fighting him because he'll kill you quickly.
Yep. And then she's like, a warrior needs a proper knife. You can use this. I'll basically get it back in 10 seconds.
Yeah.
Did she not tell him that he was ambidextrous?
No, she didn't. But they did include it.
They did.
Right before the final strike, he actually does switch the hand, and that's when he strikes him. Which was actually cool.
Yeah.
They did a lot of that. They showed the thing, but didn't really explain it. So if you did read the book, you're like, oh, that's what that is.
Yeah. Which I think is a good way to handle a lot of that lesser stuff.
Oh, I do want to say I read that Denise said there isn't any kind of director cut coming, period.
I'll kill him. I'll take the masters. I don't care. I'll fucking rip those out of his cold dead hands.
What was your favorite part of the movie?
Cat rat.
The weird spider thing.
Yeah, the weird spider thing. Fucking. I loved it, but it was weird. We might need to watch that scene again on HBO Max while you guys are all here. I need to see that fucking spider and monster again, and like pause it.
We'll come back to you. James, what was your favorite scene?
No, that's fair. Darius, what was your favorite scene?
Weirdly enough, my favorite scene was when Leto was waking up and
with the Baron?
Yeah, and then just the bear eating at the other end of the table was just like, it showed how disgusting he is, for one thing. But this just like the imagery of like Leto's like looking like a fucking Greek statue, just like laid out naked on the fucking chair.
That might have just been the best way. Like, that might have been why he was naked, just for that parallel of like the disgusting opulence of the Baron, but versus the literal perfect Greek god.
Like the morality versus like the greed.
Yeah.
Like and where that got them.
Exactly. And that might be the whole naked aspect too.
Right.
Now that you said that, is the like, he didn't necessarily like he didn't want as much as the Baron at that moment, so he was naked. Like he was clear. Yeah. You know? Fuck, we could read into this movie all goddamn day.
The Gom Jabbar scene was really good.
Yeah.
They did that well.
What's the Gom Jabbar scene?
The needle.
Oh yeah. Yeah, that was dope.
It's done really well.
I think they had a good middle ground with how they showed the hand. I think the hand in 1984 was better.
Dude, it's actually funny because when I saw that, I was like, that looks bad. Not that like the hand looked bad, but like the camera and like the lighting for it was just off compared to everything else. And what's funny is that I remember telling you I watched like a YouTube video of Denis talking about like the shots and like the compositions for that scene, and he said that hand shot was actually made post-production and it was edited in, and I'm like, that totally makes sense.
Yeah, I absolutely thought that it was not properly planned. Like, not that it wasn't planned,
right? But it was like added almost.
Exactly, because like I think the practical effects of the 1984 movie for that scene were better. Were more
showed
impactful.
Like the skin like burning off and stuff.
Exactly.
I mean, that image is burned into my head.
Yeah.
Yep.
So.
And I think them showing that it was like his hand on Dune at the time, because there was clearly a desert behind that burned hand. No, never mind. I was gonna say, I wonder if that's the way he saw that hand might be a reference to the stone burner in Messiah.
That's about eyes.
I know, but it might be like one of his. He might have seen another, because that was on Dune that the hand was burning, so that makes it's weird.
Yeah.
So I just wonder if maybe
maybe they just like did like the desert because that's where his visions have been, and that's what he was like imagining.
It's fair.
Vision, whatever.
I think actually I was gonna say that my favorite scene was Duncan's fight scene, just because they captured how Duncan acts very well in that fight scene.
Yeah, Jason Momoa did a great job.
Fantastic. There was a review that I saw where somebody said that Jason Momoa and
Gurney
character name?
Baron's nephew, son,
Raban,
where Baron Raban, they felt more like they were the actors and not the characters. And after watching the movie, I felt like I didn't agree. Like
you
it was,
saw Batista more than Raban.
Exactly.
Yeah,
that's what the review said. And yeah, I felt like Raban was Raban.
Two scenes he was in.
Yeah. And they were like,
when he was like pissed at the Baron.
Yeah.
Too. Yeah. No,
and they were saying
like Batista.
Yeah, he did a good job.
Yeah.
But yeah, and they were saying that Jason Momoa felt like Jason Momoa and not Duncan Idaho, and I was like, no, he seemed like a Duncan Idaho.
Yeah.
Like,
Duncan
absolutely.
Idaho is more like plucky and stuff like that for sure.
Exactly.
One of my favorite like scenes with like the acting was after the Hunter Seeker, when Leto's just pissed. Like you feel that like emotion where he's
Yeah.
like, my son was about to die, and like when Thufir's like, I'm gonna resign and whatever, he's like, fuck your honor, I don't give a shit about it. If you want retribution, catch the spies who did this.
Yep.
I was like, oof,
It
that
was a
felt good.
Good scene.
I can't wait to see more Stilgar. The dude who fucking plays him is like,
Stilgar is good, yeah.
you don't see him a lot, but like the scenes that he's in are so good, and I can't wait to see him just act more.
I don't want to call it flippant, but the proper way of like he cared the way he carries himself
Yeah.
in every scene of being like, because it's not that he's above what's happening, it's that he's pretending to not care, and he hits that perfectly.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's a really hard thing
He's
to act.
very like stuck in his ways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like even when he's captured by Jessica, he's not like,
he's
oh
like-
God, we need to change. It's
He's like, peace,
okay.
peace. Like, you can fight. You're okay now.
Yeah, like, why did you tell me?
Yeah. And like it's because the way he spoke there is the same way he spoke when he left. When he was like, I have nothing more to say.
Yeah.
And it's not that he was above the conversation, it's that he was done.
Yeah.
So it's like, I have no
He does-
reason to be here.
Exactly.
Like
It's super Furman.
yeah. And I was like, fuck, that's
Yeah, dude.
perfect.
I don't know the actor's name, but
Yeah.
I can't wait to see more.
You
of
will
him.
now. You gotta look that shit up.
He's gonna be fucking great in Children.
Yeah.
If they get there
He wants to do Messiah next. He really, really wants to do
after
like,
part 2.
Yeah. Denny was like, I hope to do
Dude,
Messiah, but then I
you
want to do
you
a
have
break.
to at least reach like Children.
Yeah.
I feel like Messiah would be really good, but I don't know. I think you just need Children.
Mm.
That's weird because like Children, like then you need God Emperor.
Yeah. Children's weird because you need it as an end to Paul's story.
Yeah,
But
like
you
that's
all-
the
but
end
it's
of his
the s-
story.
It's weird that
But like Messiah
It's the
also
start.
ends his story.
yeah. Cuz like the Children is the end of the Paul story, but it's the beginning at the exact same time. It's not the end is the end and the
Yeah.
end is the beginning. It's the beginning is the beginning of
Like you could
Leto the
yeah.
second.
Do you think
like Messiah is the death of Muad'Dib, but Children's the birth of the preacher.
Yep.
Yeah.
do you think they kind of took something away from the story by not adding the princess's like stuff at all in the movie?
Yeah. Another
Writings,
thing
I
to
guess,
bounce
you know?
off of that, not
Yeah.
to like tangent away from it, but it's kind of adjacent, is that they didn't show the Emperor at all.
Nope.
And because like I'm so familiar with the books, it didn't like I know everything that the Emperor is like doing, his motivations and all of that, and not seeing his presence didn't impact me at all. And I think I saw like a video where they talked about it, and I was just like imagining not knowing anything about the Emperor really, and like his absence kind of making him bigger than the Baron, and just that he's like this effable like force that has power, but you don't actually see him move the
Right.
pieces, right? So I was like wondering how people outside of the stories reacted to his missing presence, kind of in the same way.
Do you think, not to tangent again, kind of, we were saying that we were saying that the beginning of the next movie might be the gladiator scene with Fade.
Yeah.
Originally, that's my idea. Was that might be a good starting point.
Yeah.
I wonder if they'll actually. No, they probably won't. But I was thinking maybe they do the scene with Irulan and the Emperor when he's talking to her, being like, "Why couldn't you be older? Because then I would have married
Right.
you."
Where he's looking at a picture of Leto.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that might be one of the opening scenes of the second one.
I could see that
Yeah.
for sure.
Because then it's like, here's the quote unquote antagonist at the moment.
Yeah.
You know, he's the one behind everything that you think.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, and then it's like there's the daughter because she's somewhat important to. Well, she's very important, but not necessarily to the first Dune book. And then it kind of gives that whole thing of like, oh, the king he had to do it out of fear and respect because he knew that the Duke was stronger than him. So
he had the
to.
possibility
Exactly.
to be.
But that might be a good way to do it. Also, my favorite scene I was going to say, because I don't think it's the fight scene, I think it's every fake vision and I'd count all of those as one scene.
Mm.
Like the visions that aren't real. I think they handled all of them very well because they let you know that Paul is seeing paths
Right.
and not.
So I was thinking
The
about that too when, not to like get away from Irulan, sorry.
No, you're good.
But I just keep tangenting. But when he's talking to Jameis, I was thinking like, if that would have happened if he didn't stick up for Jessica, like if he didn't champion her.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. So you were saying with Irulan and her like kind of exposition, at least in like the
Yeah, I was gonna ask, do you think that took away from like how the book kind of sets up the story? Because obviously she's writing it after everything happened,
Right.
so as you're reading it, you're like, oh,
you're getting future pieces.
yeah.
Right.
She's like describing characters before you even meet them sometimes. So
Yeah, that's one of my favorite things is like the excerpts at the front of the chapters.
I like them too, but I think I would say that not having them doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it doesn't take away.
Yeah.
The movie format's just so different. Like you
Yeah.
kind of don't have room for it.
Because I would say that it would
It
hurt
would
the
sound
books.
preachy.
It would
Well,
hurt the books if
not
those
preachy.
weren't there.
Yeah,
But in the movie format, it would be a hindrance
yeah.
to the flow.
I feel
So,
like
yeah.
in a TV format, like a TV show format, they'd work better at like the front of an episode or something.
That's true.
That'd be fucking sick.
That'd be great. 100%.
well, I was asking because the 1984 movie, they have her narrating in the beginning.
Yeah, but that's completely for like the audience's benefit. Like
True.
that's the way he chose to world build, or at least kind of info dump. And I think Denis just, not to say he did it better, I think he did, but he did it like more organically.
Right. Because I think thinking about the fact that, you know how people in the audience in the 1984 one were handed that pamphlet of every term?
Yeah.
I think that's what that first 15 minutes of Irulan
Yeah.
is for. It's for you to look at that thing and then her say it, and she goes, spice is important. This is spice. Cool. So you can read the pamphlet while you're sitting down during the movie, and it's not something you have to read beforehand, and it's not something that you have to read after. It's so you can literally follow along,
Yeah.
and then you go, cool, floor.
Right.
You know? So, yeah.
Yeah, and the people that we went with who had no like familiarity with the books, at least they said they didn't seem lost, or
Yeah.
they got the gist of it.
Yeah, because Amy was saying that she completely got it.
Yeah.
Martin and
Yeah,
Evan said
Evan.
that they loved it.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think Denis did a
really
knowing,
good job.
yeah, knowing the spread of people we had, which
Yeah.
was the three
It
of
was
us have
about
read
even. Yeah.
it, Trisha's reading it,
Yeah.
and then 3 people who haven't touched it.
Jonah did read it.
Oh, he did read it?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's still 3 people who
Yeah.
didn't, but yeah.
But yeah, so it's kind of like everybody was on the same page.
Yeah.
And that's kind of amazing.
With how like expansive this universe is.
Exactly.
Especially with its politics. That's something they did go into, but it's a lot deeper. There's more there. But I mean there's more movies they can expand upon it. They haven't gone into the Ix or Tleilaxu, but they're not important until Messiah. And Nyx isn't important until fucking God Emperor.
Yeah, I just thought of something really scary that I hope they don't do.
Hmm.
So you know how you were saying that Thufir might not be... The reason Thufir would join up with the Baron is no longer there because
Right.
of whatever.
Jessica's not seen as a traitor.
Do you think that instead of a random Atreides man, it's going to be Gurney in the gladiator fight?
It has to be. Well, Gurney can't die. He's important in children.
Yeah, but
I don't
that's
know.
if they...
Gurney's very important. in
Why
children.
can't they just do the second movie and Howard? Is that how you say
Thufir
it?
Hawat.
The fear. Why can't he just be like, Jessica must have betrayed us?
Right, but
Yeah.
Gurney also has to know, and they're split.
Know what?
That Jessica's the traitor, or thinks.
But
that
why
she
can't
is.
they just think that?
Because it's due to Thufir's like mentat awareness that he was able to like draw to that conclusion, and since Gurney's kind of already in the Smuggler's Bay area, he's kind of just like living for himself because he doesn't even know Paul's alive or Jessica's alive. He thinks like everything's done. So I guess his motivation would just be like kill the Baron, but
I just realized that because they didn't ever actually go into what a mentat was, it's actually totally okay for what Darius said, for Thafir just to think she's the traitor and want to make sure that if, like, not necessarily that he thinks that she's alive, but if she's alive, that whatever.
Right. But they're also like removing that scene with Gurney, which is a great scene.
The one with him and the smuggler.
Jessica.
The scene
At
with
the
him
end
and
of the
Jessica,
book.
yeah.
Oh, when he like almost kills her.
Yeah.
He can also just be like, "Yo, you were the traitor, weren't you? She must have betrayed us." And Paul just be like, "Nah, she good." I mean,
Yeah, he's right.
Well,
though.
that's what they.
That's-
I don't know. They're like, that's a good scene.
It's not what we want out of the scene, but it might be how the scene goes.
Yeah.
I mean, they were blindsided super hard. So like, I would think that any Atreides would be like, anyone could be we know there was a traitor.
Yeah.
Because everything was shut down and they were pretty much someone opened the door for them, so
Right.
we know there was a traitor. UA's dead. Everyone else is dead.
Yeah, and they wouldn't think that it's UA because of his conditioning.
Yeah,
which
which
is
they
what
never
happened.
explained.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I think they could just like
Yeah, for anybody.
sprinkle it in there and be like, "Yeah, I thought you were a traitor," and Paul just be like, "Nah, she wasn't." And then they just move on because that
He
scene
just like shrugs.
Yeah.
But that's
Like,
kind of
okay.
what happens in the book. Like he does it. He
had
like
to,
tries
like,
to kill
hard
her.
convince her. Like he was like literally right there to kill her.
Yeah, but then he convinces her, and then it's over. There's no problem.
Yeah, but there's like tension in that scene, like palpable tension that they just took away.
You can't get everything you want, Noah.
That scene's so good. I expect the important scenes.
I want the dinner party scene, but you know,
It was shot, so maybe it'll be in like deleted scenes or something.
hopefully, that's a long ass deleted scene.
Yeah.
It is a long scene.
Fuck. One thing I don't think they did was that Sardaukar were just Sardaukar.
Yep.
Like they weren't Sardaukar in Harkonnen
armor.
uniforms.
Because
Which
there's an
is
Atreides people shout out, "Oh, Sardaukar," when they
Yeah.
turn around, and I went,
and that's very important because if the other houses learned that the Sardaukar killed the Atreides, they would gun for the Emperor,
Yep.
which is why he did it in secret, and he just did it in the open in the movie.
and I understand why that like
Yeah,
people
yeah.
need to know that there's a difference.
Yeah,
And I don't know. I guess they just didn't trust human intelligence
yeah,
when they could have like. Legitimately, fucking Piter could have had a line of like, "We will be providing the suits, so you look like the Harkonnen
yeah.
army."
When he was
it
on
would have
Solstice
been
Secundus.
like he could have
Yeah, yeah,
smacked it
yeah.
in right there. The scene was quiet enough that, and then that would even make the Sardakar's line of like being like, "I don't want to do it that way. We're the Sardaukar,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
if the Emperor wills it, like that would make more sense."
Yeah, that would have been better.
But
I
I
don't
mean,
know.
it is what it is, which
But
sucks.
population intelligence.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the costume design?
Can we talk about the pug? Why it wasn't fucking in the movie?
That costume design is fucking crazy.
For
Yeah.
The whole
everything.
movie.
Yeah.
You know that they knew those still suits with the robes were looking good because there's a bunch of shots
Yeah, dude.
of just them like crouching on rocks.
Yup.
It's just
Dude,
cool.
they look so cool.
They
dude.
like, yeah, they look good. They look real good, man. I think there's specifically a shot of Stilgar just crouching on rock.
Dude, that's
Like
the
3
where his like
times.
head's cocked. He's like side eyeing. Dude,
They had
it was
the
a badass.
and they knew they needed to put Duncan in that suit in a cool way too, because they had him crouching in Paul's vision,
Yeah.
and he's just like he's mean mugging because he knew he looked tight.
Yeah, dude. Lady Jessica's fucking outfits were on fire
Yep.
every time, especially that
Yeah.
when she first gets to Dune with all the beads on her face. That shit was excellent.
Yeah.
I loved it. They had someone carrying her fucking like flowing dress
Yep.
robe thing.
Dude, I feel like that outfit could have been like on like Rihanna at the Met Gala. You know
Hell
what I
yeah.
mean? Like that was like on point design,
Yeah.
expensive outfit for show.
Yeah,
And
dude.
it was like, good job.
And-
Dude, they made the Atreides green and red look good. Like,
Yeah. How do you make Christmas
yeah,
look good?
right?
That. You hire that costume designer.
And then I also liked how the Harkonnens' armor looked dumpy next to the Sarkar's armor.
Yep.
I was like,
Yeah.
that was cool because the Harkins, of course, they're not gonna like the Harkins. They just care about the numbers pretty much. They don't
Yeah.
care about like how efficient the armor is. So of course they're gonna get some cheap ass looking armor.
Yep. And
But
they
it's-
didn't go the Witcher route and make it look like testicles.
Yeah.
That's important.
And they didn't go the 84 route, make it look like trash bags.
And that's important.
And like the symbols, like the like hawk crests on like
Yeah.
Paul's and Leto's like collars was cool because every time you see them, they had like when they had the uniforms on,
Yep.
they had a like little hawk.
The signet
Pin or
ring looked
something.
dope.
Yep.
It was fucking incredible. And then that scene when they're in the graveyard and fucking Paul has that long ass black trench coat ish
Yeah.
thing.
Even when he's like standing in the center of the room and like just his regular outfit for the Gamja bar scene, just like the shapes and stuff that they made with it was fantastic.
Yeah, it was great. That shot in him in the long coat was so good that it was the poster for like a couple of the posters.
Yeah.
It was like him with the ships in the background, even though nothing happens on Caladan.
And I loved how they represented the Spacing Guild too, with the people don't like
Yeah,
orange
Yep.
that was very cool.
and
'Cause
like the
it's-
weird ass wizard staffs.
Because that's another thing of like it's the little things that the people who read the book would know.
Would pick up.
Because
Right.
we looked at that and we went, "That's spice gas."
Yeah, yeah.
But anybody else would go, "Those are unimportant people." But it's
Right.
like,
They did say that the guild was there with them.
Yep.
They didn't say these were guild members, but I guess they implied it at least.
right? Yeah. Yeah, they did a fucking
very good job.
top tier job.
And they even
Thopters look dope as fuck.
Yep.
the doctors are fucking crazy, man.
Hell yeah.
How'd you feel about the worm? How you feel like they handled
I
the
thought it
worms?
was good.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of the teeth just because I don't like the like hairy thing. I don't,
Oh,
it just looks like
the-
hair to me.
Right. It's
But-
it's whale mouth instead
Yeah,
of teeth.
yeah. Which I don't know. It's just preference. I thought it looked good, but yeah.
I personally don't. I think the best design for the sandworms is the triple lip,
Yeah.
and
I
the
agree.
fact that they don't have that is like I get it,
Yeah.
but like worms shouldn't have their mouths open all the time. Is how I feel.
Right.
Because like they shouldn't look like lampreys. They should look like worms.
Yeah.
And I still love this design. It's good. It worked for the movie. It was good.
Yeah.
Like I'm not shitting on it at all.
Right.
But I
Preference.
just give me the like give me that.
The three mouth flaps just works really well.
I just like the spiraling shapes that they can do with it and stuff too.
Yep.
I don't know.
And I was talking with Noah about this, I think, but I'm so sorry everybody heard that. I didn't like that the worm didn't glow on the inside. That's just me.
There's something that they just like leave out.
Yeah.
Like Piter's blue eyes.
Yep.
And I still think that's just because they want only like Fremen to have that, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, it's unimportant, I guess.
If I'd never read the book, I
We
would
never
be.
saw it in the food. Sorry.
If I like never read the book and I'm watching it for the first time, I'd be like, "Oh, Piter must be half Fremen." I would think that.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
I agreed with him leaving that out. 'Cause-
Yeah, it's
well,
one of
they
those
just
things
have
where-
to say it's spice saturation.
Yeah.
But that also goes into why Piter like kind of works for the Harkonnens.
Yeah, but Piter's
Period.
dead, so
Yeah, but like
They don't go into Piter's addiction.
It goes in like it's not important for Piter, it's important for the Harkonnens is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like
'cause
they
it shows
rule
that they're
they
scum.
rule by vice and that's like their thing, but they never show that.
yeah, they totally took out that character where after.
Nefud, his captain who's like high on Samuda.
Yeah, and then he like promotes him and stuff.
Yep.
That didn't.
And
happen.
Samuda is important in Messiah.
Yep.
So
So who
It's
knows?
fine. It's
Samuda
fine.
is a music drug that puts you in a trance.
And if you
for
want to
the
know what the
people who
fuck
don't
that
know.
is, no one does.
Yeah.
Don't
It's
worry.
pretty unimportant after Messiah.
Yeah. Dude, Darius looked at me after the movie and he was like, or I think it was at work the next day or whatever, but he looked at me and he was like, did they just not even try with Gurney's Balisette?
They shot a scene with him playing the Balisette. They
Really?
removed it. Yeah.
I need to
you
see
said they
what-
removed it.
Yeah. They just didn't put it in.
It makes sense because I get why they did the bagpipes, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because when I think of a Balisette, I think of an otherworldly type of music that I don't know what it sounds
Mm-hmm.
like, and bagpipes legitimately are probably the closest thing to the weird sound I would expect from a new future instrument.
Yeah.
And like, it's weird thinking that.
But the baliset's a string instrument.
Correct.
Yeah. Like the picture I saw was like Gurney just like holding like the neck of a stringed instrument.
Yeah. Because a baliset, for everyone who hasn't read Dune, is like a nine string.
God, you are a fucking
sitar.
We need to take you to Dune trivia. Like, who the fuck knows how many strings of balizet has?
Oh, did you also know that the Fremen came from the Zensuni Wanderers? Like that's where they originated from. And the Zensuni is the religion that the Tleilaxu gave hate.
We're going to a bar and going to a Dune trivia. we're gonna win whatever the fuck we got.
That's true. We win still suits. It'll be great.
Trash bags.
But yeah, so a baliset is a 9-stringed instrument that's it's described as being very sitar-like.
Very hard and very difficult to play.
Yeah, so it's one of those like I think a sitar is an Indian instrument where it's like you sit down and play it because it's a very large stringed instrument, almost like a small guitar-shaped harp. Smaller than an actual harp, but yeah. And yeah, I think bagpipes hit the feeling of the notes that I imagined, if that makes sense. That kind of, almost like a theremin-like, where it's kind of got that waviness.
Yeah.
Because I figured that's how he played it, right? It's a whole lot of, like, you pluck it and you move the string so it would make multiple tones per string, per note, or whatever. Yeah, first time I heard the bagpipes, I was like, odd. But then the second time I heard the bagpipes, I was like, perfect. You made it. So.
I know Kynes is your favorite character. How'd you feel like they handled her?
Kynes is one of my favorite characters. I think like rereading it again, like Stilgar is like kind of taking that place. I think they changed her death. Them changing her like gender doesn't matter at all.
Yep.
They didn't talk about how Liet was a Sietch name. I guess that's unimportant because the Fremen refer to Liet and not Kynes, and the city folk refer to Kynes and not Liet.
Well,
but they're still the same person.
Paul picked up on it. They didn't explain it, but like Paul was like, you're not just like a person in them.
Yeah. Well, he asked if you were like a Fremen, and she was like, I'm accepted both Sietch and Village. Which is true, because she's not Fremen. She's, like, off-world, but married into Fremen, and kind of convinced them to terraform Dune. But, yeah, I thought it was good. Her death scene changed, but the effect of it was pretty much the same. It was just, like, Dune kind of taking somebody who didn't belong there, but felt that they did, I guess.
Yeah.
And it was more or less the same.
It's a minor nitpick that I had. This kind of relates to her death scene. Is I feel like they blew their load on riding sandworms too early.
Yeah, for sure.
That's just me.
Absolutely. Yeah, they didn't have to show that.
Yeah, I think they could have just had her with the hooks, not even see a worm necessarily,
right?
And then have that happen.
Yeah.
Because Paul has hooks in the bug out bag that they give him, and he literally looks at them in the book and he goes, "The fuck are these? I'm sure they're for something." But I can't worry about that right now, and he puts them back in because he's like,
yeah, I think that would have been better instead of him like looking and seeing people riding sandworms. Yeah, just to kind of like imply that Kynes was going to do something with the sandworm and the hooks, I think would have been better instead of just explaining.
Yeah, but if I put myself in the director's position, it's like you got to get people excited. You don't know if you're gonna get the sequel. They have not greenlit. Like,
exactly.
Just get people going, man.
I feel like the sequel was always gonna happen, though.
Yeah.
Like Legendary and Warner Brothers, I don't think would have not greenlit a sequel.
I mean, if the movie made $10 million, it wouldn't have got a sequel. And movie's been making $10 million with Corona. So
to be fair, though, if Avengers Infinity War made $10 million. It doesn't matter if they already greenlit Endgame and have it on the chart. They wouldn't have made that either.
I think greenlighting a series that's adjacent to this without like confirming a second one is just like the second one's going to happen anyway.
Yeah. Here's a question. Do you want them to do Dune, finish Dune, like in the next movie, And then if he does, because he was talking about how he really wants to do Messiah. If he then stepped over, same director, but then he made a series, like an HBO series for children, would you be happy with that?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah, it's fair.
I trust Denis.
We still need to watch the fucking sci-fi one just
Yeah.
for shiggles.
I think I heard that it was decent.
Yeah.
It's got to be better than 84.
Absolutely. It's also got one of my favorite actors in it, so.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, he plays Leto the Second. It's
nice.
fucking Xavier, young Xavier. I can't remember his name.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's him. And I was like, the fuck? Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Weird. Always got to pick a white dude, but I get it.
Yeah, he should be. I was thinking about it because, like, they have red hair, which is weird, considering his father has black hair and Cheney's.
Hold on.
Fremen.
He plays Leto second?
Yep.
How old is he in that?
Young.
Yeah, he's
like 8.
well, he's like a teenager, actually.
Yeah.
He's like at least 16. He's
Oh, no,
probably like 20.
I've only seen that man as an adult.
Oh, sure.
So, like, imagine, like, a younger version of him is
He's
like...
definitely older. He's not like a kid in this.
Yeah. James McAvoy.
So, I mean, as long as he's age appropriate, then it's fine.
Because he is like...
Like, he was young in that role.
Oh.
Yeah. So, like, he's not nothing, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's the scene everybody knows.
Sand trout armor is so weird in this series, though. Because
Yeah.
it definitely wouldn't look like that.
No.
It's
not at all.
sci-fi. They had a budget of $2.
It's true. They at least got the eyes a little bit better than fucking...
Well, I mean, just with like how
Like
it's like
3D4.
stuck on his shoulder. Like, it should be literally everywhere except for his face.
$2, Noah.
Yeah, but they could have
You
just
going
like...
buy half the pack.
50 cents went to the cheek alone, man.
Yeah,
They
you
didn't
going to buy half the pack of Sharpies for $2.
But yeah, no, I've heard good things about it too.
Yeah.
So it's worth a watch. We can buy it on Amazon for like $12. Well, it's probably like
Oh.
$50 now.
Yeah, right. Because of the clout.
Yeah.
Then he got it.
Yeah, fucker. It might be streaming on like HBO Max or something. Like I wouldn't be surprised.
I don't think
Hulu
I
or
saw it,
something.
but that'd be dope.
Yeah.
So overall, you liked it?
Best
Yeah, it's
movie I've
very
seen in
Very good.
2 years. It's not a high bar, but like I don't watch many movies, so I think I can count the movies I've watched in the last 2 years on one hand, like in theaters. So
Yeah.
Sonic, Bad Boys for Life, Rise of the Skywalker, Dune. I think that's it.
Low bar.
Low bar.
Low bar.
Very, very low bar. But it's the highest up there.
Yep.
It's the difference between every other thing on there is a fucking limbo bar, and then the Dune is all the way up at like Olympic high jump. So like there's a gap.
I gotta say, this movie, it gave me like those vibes of. I felt like I was watching Star Wars for the first time. You know how people say like
Sure.
older people would be like,
Yeah, I saw it 20 times in the first day.
yeah. I felt that because like I
It
said,
has wonder.
it does.
It has wonder.
That costume design really got me. That costume and soundtrack was most definitely like my favorite elements about the film.
Yeah.
But I had to pee when they were still in Caladan, and like the movie was so good and flowed so well that it carried. It made me not think about peeing.
Yeah.
So I was able to like get all the way through it, and only good movies can do that.
Yep.
If that movie was like fucking Batman vs Superman, I would.
You would have just left after
Yeah.
going to the bathroom. You'd been like, do I really want to go back in?
Yeah, right. Like you would have walked out mid Superman punching Batman, and been like, "Nah, I gotta pee." It's
Yeah,
fine.
the fucking climax of the movie. You're like, I gotta piss, so
Yeah.
what's more important?
So yeah, that movie was good. I can't wait to watch it again.
Yeah.
So I was gonna say this and I forgot it, Noah.
Mm-hmm.
They took my idea for how the Glow Globes looked.
Yeah.
This movie
Just
was
the orb.
exactly how they looked in my head in the book.
It was
I
a
was
good
like,
design.
Yeah, and like it's just the robot. Like I was saying, it's the robot from Flubber on its side. That's literally what and I was like, oh, they did it. It's what I wanted.
Also,
Such a minor thing.
one thing I gotta give props for the scene when Paul is fighting the little needle thing.
Yeah.
The Hunter Seeker.
Yeah, the Hunter Seeker. That was good because I always had trouble imagining what a Hunter Seeker looked like when the book, and then the only image I got was the fucking 1984 one, which is like a
sonic
dildo.
screwdriver.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Speaking of that scene, I'm sorry. Were you? If you weren't done, keep
I do want to say I did put Dune on the background the weekend after, and during that scene, I heard like a really loud buzzing sound during that entire scene until the Hunter Seeker like got through the bed. So I wonder if that was like part of it.
Oh, was that it? Like
I think
drilling?
so. Maybe.
That might.
I'll have
be.
to watch it again, but I don't know if it was like something was fucked up with my headphones. But I like paused it a few times and it stopped.
That
So
might
I was
be.
like wondering. Yeah,
That's
it's just a
interesting.
little thing. Yeah.
But they get a really good job with that, with the design of it, because how it kind of looks like a little.
Yeah,
Scarab.
yeah. It looks like a flea almost with a needle on it.
Mhm.
I was just like thought of just like a thin needle thing.
Yeah. Like, what if you could make a Gom Jabbar?
Yeah, pretty
float?
much. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, no, I think this was a good way to do that. How, dude, the visual of people, like, that's another thing. That entire scene is another aspect of people who didn't read the book. Like, people who read the books went crazy during that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Because what's he looking at when the Hunter
mouse.
Seeker shows up?
The mouse.
Muad'Dib.
Yeah, they showed that a few times just to be like, they're definitely going to be like, oh fuck, I don't want the jihad to happen, so I need a new name. So
Yep.
like, I'm just going to be like, oh, I see a mouse every so often. What's that called?
And then
That's cool.
And I was thinking about it when the Hunter Seeker came out. What does he do when the Hunter Seeker comes out? He could have stood still. It's not what he does. He becomes the mouse and goes into the shrub.
Oh.
Oh yeah.
He totally, and like it's that extra thing for us because
Yeah.
it's like he doesn't realize it, but he is doing what the mouse is doing
Right.
because he is. And I was like, when it happened, I was like, oh my god, I can't talk to Noah right now because the scene's so good and he's not going to respond anyway. But oh my god. So yeah, 10 out of 10 movie. Go watch it. If you can swing it, go watch it in theaters.
Yeah.
They also what else they got right was in the book when shit goes down when the Atreides pretty much die, it happens out of nowhere.
Yeah.
You don't see it come. It's just one night something happens. I think it just opens up with Leto's walking down the street.
Yeah, he just wakes up.
Yeah. Because I think what happens before that is something equally innocuous. It's just like
They
they
showed
got
the
done.
light
Yeah.
flashing, and that's kind of what woke him up. Yeah.
And they captured that all. It just happens the same way where it captures you off guard.
Yep.
Of like,
It's now.
because you're like, oh, what's
Yeah.
gonna happen next?
It's not gonna be
Oh.
broad daylight. The Sardaukar and Harkonnen are just marching up to the palace.
It's
The
as-
weapons the bombs they use to like go through shields and stuff was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Just like the
The sh-
design of them.
The shields were fucking dope, man.
Yeah, very
they
good.
got that well with how it gets red when you're fucking up.
Yep.
Like you're about to die, score red.
Because that'd be a good way for, at least in the front, to let a soldier know you need to stop that, right? Because like the visual on them, they'd be like, oh,
Right.
not you.
I saw like a review where like the dude didn't like understand why the shields were useful because they were like they just fucking didn't do anything, right? But it's like Duncan Idaho trained to be able to do that like that efficiently, I guess.
Yeah.
Because like when he's taking out Sardaukar, he just like fucking slices them down, and it doesn't feel like that's how that should work, right? Because it's supposed to be slower or whatever. But I don't know. He's just so trained that it worked.
I felt
that.
like
Yeah.
the fighting style was established that.
Yeah, but I'm saying like when he's like in the hallway fighting the Sardaukar, he doesn't. It's like one slice done, right? Like there isn't like any.
There's
kind
no hesitation
of,
that
right.
he
What,
would have.
yeah, in my head, I was
Right.
just like, that's the big dick.
Yeah.
Slapping that big dick on the table, you know?
Yeah. They also didn't explain that Paul's hesitation was also tied to his
Yeah.
shield fighting training. It was
Exactly.
just like, oh, he hasn't killed anybody, so he doesn't want to.
And it's like, not quite.
Yeah. Yes and no.
So we've talked about this before, but I kind of want to bring it up again because I thought about it like yesterday. What came first, the las gun or the shield? It's like
Had to be the shield,
it had to be the shield,
maybe.
but maybe, right?
Yeah.
Because you're thinking, and it's like, well, the shield deflects regular projectiles and forces hand to hand. But then maybe because they maybe think, like, oh, let's use the lasgun then. And then the second someone uses a lasgun, if everyone has a shield, they know that lasguns aren't worthwhile.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, well, then the lasgun would have to be first, right? And then they made a shield thinking, and maybe that's what it was, is they were like, oh, we need something to block a lasgun. They designed this, and it totally works.
Yeah.
Technically. Like Cold War style.
Right.
It does its job. And then that forced hand-to-hand to have to come back. Because it's like, well, guns don't work, lasgun don't work.
Mm-hmm.
Bring out the knives. So, I don't know. That's a complete aside, but it's chicken and the egg that I was thinking of, basically. Yeah, no, it's 10 out of 10. A good movie.
Really
good movie. Great movie.
Yeah. Now, do we talk about My Witch Academia?
Yeah, My Witch Academia.
Yeah.
Shingeki no Witch Hat.
Oh, yeah.
The confusion in your eyes at what the fuck did they just say to me?
Like, what? I'm like, are we talking about My Hero?
Witch Hat Atelier. Chapters, 1 through 10?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So we read 2/4 weeks ago the first 10 chapters of Witch Hat Atelier, and it's pretty good.
Yeah, I like it a lot.
I think I like it. I think we have a pretty good ramp where you like it a lot. I enjoy it a lot. I don't think it's my favorite. Like it's like in the middle, just from everything that I've been reading.
Sure.
And I don't think Darius likes it at all.
I hate it.
Why?
I don't care about the characters. The art's good, but the
art's
story
amazing for one.
the story and the
Dude,
pacing
like
and
the
the characters.
framing and how they use the panels and stuff are just insane. Like
Yeah.
there's one where like the end of a page to go onto the other one, she's like walking towards you and then she goes up the page like on a staircase.
Yeah,
It's,
that's
like,
good. That's great.
So fucking good, dude.
I don't like the characters.
So fucking good, dude.
Toward the end, after the dragon fight, I was literally just going forward till I saw a cool character.
Sure.
And
Well, luckily you did pretty quick, because that dude's pretty baller.
the dude with the beard.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then I would go forward until I saw him talk again. And
Oh,
then,
so you treated this like I treated tit milk.
I guess.
Where
Is
it
that how you...
was, yeah, because it was, this story's really, really good. Titties, 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 titties. Back to the story? Yeah, hell yeah. And because I just couldn't handle the titties are so stupid and they're unnecessary. And I was like, you have something good, and I want to get to the good, but you're making me go through this weird titty center. Or like the titty shell of the good story. And I'm like, get the titty out of here, please. They just toss that aside. Thank you.
I don't know. I just like I don't like the characters that much. The only character I do like is the good dude with the beard and the girl, the happy the like girl that's like always energetic.
The main character.
No, her actual friend.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I don't like the Kakashi dude. I feel like he's over designed and a little bit too perfect. And I think it's weird that he lives with 3 little girls.
He's teaching them.
I know, but I still think it's weird.
This dude was fine with him with the dude from Umbrella Academy living with a bunch of little kids, but
Yeah.
I don't like Umbrella Academy. I hate Umbrella Academy.
Oh really?
I thought the relationship between the brother and sister was weird, but
They're not related.
they grew up together as brother and sister. I would not be able to do it, but I don't know. I don't think the characters really gripped me.
Sure.
I wasn't feeling it.
Do you think it's because like the story's like less like adult?
No, I love like whimsical, less adult stories. I fucking went to movie theaters to watch Toy Story 3 when it came,
Sure.
Toy Story 4 when it came
Yeah, but
out.
that's also nostalgia.
But I love that movie. It was a good
Alright.
movie. Like, I went to a movie theaters by myself. I felt like a creep.
I think I saw 4 by myself too.
Yeah.
Actually.
So it has nothing to do with that. It's just I think
didn't you tell me you tried to get Kit to go with you so that it wasn't like
yeah.
as weird?
I tried to get like some kid to go with me. Maybe kid or my little cousin or something.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. because I did feel weird doing that, but I don't know. I just didn't. I'm not connecting with any of the characters really.
Sure.
Yeah. I kind of feel a similar way, but not as bad. Like I can't wait to read more of this.
Sure.
Just because I'm like, fuck, I'm in. What's Kakashi hiding? You know, is like kind of where I'm at. But I hate that one girl so much.
The
Sasuke
bitch.
girl.
We can call her a bitch. I don't care if she's 9.
yeah.
She's a bitch.
At chapter like 10 though, we kind of like understand where she's like coming from though.
Yeah, and it's like the thing where it's like I can give her slack because she's 9.
Yeah, but it's also like she's kind of like forcing herself down this way because she has something to prove almost.
Right.
Because she has like that anxiety where it's like my parents are better than me and people expect me to be better, but it doesn't come easy to me, so I have to like kind of force myself to study like this.
And I understand why she's a bitch. That's one thing I do like about her. She's like I worked hard and you did have to do shit. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Like I get that. I'm glad that they explained that and that she wasn't just a bitch for no reason.
Right. I think real talk. So there's a line that she says in one of the chapters when she's talking to one of the other characters.
Students.
Yeah. Where she says anybody who can't help me grow or like anyone who's beneath me is not worth my time.
Sure.
And it's like I get that. You're an idiot. Because
Right.
if your teacher thought that same way, you would be eating shit at your house.
Right. But she's also like blinded by that though.
Exactly. And like that's why
I feel like
I get it.
it's not something like she wants to do, it's something she feels like she has to do.
Yeah. And I totally respect it.
Yeah.
Like I get it. But there's just that moment of like that initial knee-jerk reaction of like, you absolute bitch.
Yeah.
Like if that's how you feel, the second she passed the first test with less than you had because you took the test with training, you should have been like, maybe there's something I can learn here. Because she beat you, bitch! She trounced your ass! Your record was torn apart!
I guess.
Suck a jerk! I can't say that to a 9-year-old. but you feel me.
One thing I also wasn't really feeling is the way the magic is made with the drawing.
Dude, I like it a
I
lot
love
actually.
that.
I think it's clever as hell.
I think I don't know, like it's clever, but when you look at Full Metal Alchemist, when they first introduced alchemy, you gotta like draw the circles and do all this stuff. But the main character gets a cheat where he can clap his hands and do it. And I'm like, I remember being like thankful that he doesn't have to go through this process. He can clap his hands and do it because that's just more practical and cooler. And then you have other people where Mustang just snap shit because you guys are the club. I like that more than just having to go through the whole drawing the circle stuff. So
I will say this, and I'm sure you get it, but it's like they only have to draw stuff because they're training.
Right.
Like
there's this sword that they have that can cut water, and that's because the runes are just there. Same with like their shoes
rings.
and the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, because the reason the cool guys in Full Metal Alchemist are cool is because they're so heavily specialized into their one thing that they only draw that one thing. And I think that's how, like, if we see bigger wizards in chapter like 11 to 20 or something, right? I think that those big dick wizards are going to have more of those magical items that are like, this is my specialty, so I don't worry about drawing wind magic because that shit's for dumps.
yeah, but I want my main character to be able to clap her hands and do whatever she wants.
Yeah, but she got like the shoes and
She got the
stuff.
shoes.
Well, I mean, like she can like make these things now, right? That's what I don't know.
I mean, she started. But Alphonse, is that the metal guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got it.
He his drawing seemed, I don't remember exactly, but it seemed like he was doing stuff where he didn't have to draw a circle all the time.
He did.
I don't remember.
Later on, he gains the ability to use his hand clap, but he draws everything.
Yeah.
It's just in manga and anime format. You just ignore it.
Yeah.
Because in anime and manga format, what happens is it's like, hey, Al, you ready? And he goes, yeah! And his hand's already on the drawn circle, so you just go, oh, he prepared it already. We're good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know? And I think that might be, legitimately, I think that might be what the next, like, the rest of this is. I don't think we're going to have a dragon arc where they're all drawing.
I want more of it.
I agree.
I like don't want it to be like cheated. aside from like magical items.
But I think what's gonna happen is, you know how they already set it up actually, because the bitch girl says, yeah, what's her name, man?
I forget.
It's bitch girl. I'm sorry. But no, she already set up. She's like, yeah, we write a bunch of different stuff in our books so that we have the magic on hand. And it's like, oh shit,
Yeah.
okay, they're going to when she knows what's up, right? She'll have pages in the book that she's already pre-drawn that will do some of the basic things that she needs. So like, she's not gonna have a big fire that she has to draw every time.
Right.
She'll have it already, and then she'll just finish it and toss it out. And I think this first 10 chapters is a whole lot of setup for what the rest of the series is going to kind of go towards. Which, I mean, that's kind of how that's how book work. So
I really like how like the artist kind of incorporated her love for art into the magic system, and also kind of tacked on some like anxieties you feel about artwork too, which is like, especially when she was like, why can't I draw a circle, and their circles are so good, and then she looked at what they were doing and they were like hovering and like getting used to the motion and then drawing it, and I was like, oh, that's totally like what you actually do in art. So I thought it was just clever.
yeah.
I thought it was cool.
Yeah, I really like the like little things. And I think that's probably why she had made sure that everybody is. So it's a girl who draws this.
Yeah, I
who
believe
writes this?
so.
I think that's probably why they made them all like 9-8-year-olds, is just to make sure that they have zero confidence.
Sure.
Because that's the easiest way to.
Right.
Yeah.
They're really enjoying it.
Yeah. Like I said, I can't wait to read more chapters.
Dude, it's so fucking good. Dude, the art's so good.
I was talking with Darius. All the background art and all of like the whimsical stuff is like Berserk.
Yeah.
Because Miura was a god at making backgrounds look like I think Miura is one of the people who's drawn me in the most with artwork of backgrounds. Because like I feel like I can smell his fucking forests.
Right.
And it's just how good.
Yeah, he creates like a good mood.
Yeah. Because like the witch's tree, when I was in there, I'm like, oh my god, this place is bright as fuck. I know what that floor feels like. Like that's got to feel like moss. And it's like, how the fuck did you fucking do that? And I think that's what.
I don't remember if there are any instances of like double page spreads in Little Witch. But one of the things in that way is when they're like under the bridge in the rain, and then it clears up and it shows like the sun coming through like the rain clouds and stuff. I thought it was done super well.
Yeah, that's when they have their lunch, right?
Yeah.
So do we want to go through the chapters a little bit, just to kind of like give a little bit of the story? I don't think we have to do anything like mad, crazy.
Yeah, we kind of just like talked around the story.
Yeah, which is fine. I think we all had some good stuff there. So basically, the story begins with this girl whose mom is a tailor, right?
Yeah,
that's her.
Well,
profession.
she's also a tailor.
True. Yeah, by middle-aged trade
law.
That sounded weird. But yeah, and then a bunch of rich motherfuckers show up, and their carriage breaks, and then a mage just happens to roll up and be like, "I can fix it, but don't fucking look, or I'll fucking do something." It's like, oh, that's kind of dire. Like I legitimately at that moment was like, what the fuck is he? Did he just take his dick out? Like how scary is this magic gonna be? Or I thought he was maybe a fraud and he was just gonna.
I draw all my circles with my dick
until you find out magic isn't special.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Get the motion right,
which is cool.
Yeah, you gotta wiggle above the card a couple times before you draw that circle. But yeah, I that's one of the things that I really liked is that magic isn't unique. Yeah. And it's like anybody can fucking do it.
Right.
But we don't want anyone to do it.
Right.
You know? And that's kind of the cool thing is the girl sneaks a peek, sees him drawing and draws the circle, and she's like, wait a minute. That book that motherfucker gave me that was full of drawings that I thought they were fucking with me on.
Yeah.
Those look very similar to what he drew. And she's like, maybe the pen they gave me is what... Because she never used the pen to draw because she was like, this pen's too important to me. So she just drew with her regular pens. doing the drawings and stuff.
Did she? I don't think she. I guess
she said that she drew through the whole book a couple times.
Oh, sure.
Which I'll be honest, if that's the case, it's weird that she's not better at drawing circles. But she's
but if she's tracing, that doesn't really help.
That's true. But she said she copied the whole book. So I don't care how good you are, but if you copy a book, you're gonna be good at drawing what's in that book by the end of it. But yeah, so she's like, oh cool, maybe this is a spell, and she fucking does something and kills her mom, basically. Like, it's a kid playing with a gun is what it is.
Yeah. And luckily that fucking dude was there.
Yeah, because he's like, you fucked up. But you may not have completely fucked up.
Right. Kind of tied to a guy we're looking for.
Yeah. So he's like, I could erase your memory.
That guy's design is dope as fuck.
Oh, yeah.
The masked dude.
The bad guy.
Yeah,
all of the masked wizards. I'm like...
They're fucking sick, dude.
Because there's... it's weird. I guess it's not weird. All masked designs just, in general, feel more wild. And I wonder what exactly caused that in me.
Sure.
You know, like, whenever I see
probably
somebody...
Probably hiding the face.
Probably. Yeah, and just that aspect of, like, staying hidden.
Yeah.
But yeah,
being,
and like
unsure of motive or character.
Exactly, because it's like you might not be bad, but I feel like you probably are. But yeah, so he helps her, and he's like, "Okay, we'll keep this on the DL right now, but come train with me. I'll do this thing that makes it so people won't come and fuck with your mom."
Yeah, come into my house, little girl.
Yeah, come into my house, little girl.
I got 3 others there for you.
Yeah, don't stand so close to me. But no, so she goes to live with him to train in magic. And that's the end of chapter 2, I think. Like, chapter 1 is them
Something
leaving.
like
Chapter 2 is them showing up.
Yeah.
Or something. And then this is where we get a whole lot of the, like, you see how magic is done, and you see how everybody reacts. Right. Like, there's the really cool cooking magic.
Yeah.
Where you cook one meal and then you have the spell above it that like regenerates what was in that you used, so like you can have the same meal multiple days and it's perfect. And I was like, fuck, I want that. That'd be so good. If I made that fucking pasta al buero and then I just put that seal on a lid and set it on my counter, like
that'd be sick.
And what is it? It's every time you close the lid on top of it, that's what forms the seal.
To complete the rune again.
Yeah. So that's cool, and I think this is where we first see Bitch Girl and Heavy Friend. Yeah.
And then there's also, like, Lazy one.
Yeah. Lazy, but
Raven.
mild.
Raven.
Yeah, she's just Raven. You're right. So yeah, and then I think this is where the guy kind of talks through... Well, no, this is all basic stuff. It's, here's your room.
Yeah.
You room with Bitch Girl. Sorry.
Practice. Do stuff.
Yeah.
We'll get to
Isn't
it.
he, like, unaware, though, like, how much of a bitch she is to the other girl?
No.
Well... He knows she's hard to work with, but he doesn't realize that she's an utter bitch until after the test. Where he goes, the fuck did you do?
Because, like, I think, day 2 of training, he's like, I'm going to leave for a couple days.
Yep.
It's like...
Take care of yourselves.
Let her figure out... Okay, man. Peace.
It's a different time. I'm sure she can cook.
That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, if it was only her and her mom working anyway, they're all set. And they don't even need to cook.
Yeah, true. Yeah, he's like, just put the lid on it and you're good.
Just eat the food.
One cool thing was when before he leaves, he shows her
the gate.
Yeah, right. he's like, okay,
we
can figure out what's going on at that tower, but there's monsters like surrounded the tower. It's like a big ass sea monster or something.
Yeah. Right.
He's like, you can't make it yet though.
Yeah,
you need time, but it's there.
Setting the goal.
Yep.
Yeah, it's good.
I think that Hobbit hole teleporter thing was super dope.
Yeah.
Like just
all the magic's dope. I love it.
It really is just whimsy.
Yeah.
You know?
It's great.
Because they don't even try to explain it, really. They kind of do, where they're like, the tail will make the direction of the spell move a different way than you're expecting. Right. And then they're like, but we'll never talk about which one angles it which way and what these other runes are. And I'm like, I'm okay with that.
Well, she figured it out.
It's
so,
true.
Yeah.
But, like, we will never know the intricacies. You know what I mean? And like, I'm okay with that. You gave me enough knowledge to know it's not bullshit that you're pulling out of your butthole. And that's all I need to just let my brain just eat every magic you throw at me. Like the sword or the rings. You know, I go, cool. But then, so bitch girl does bitch things and goes, well, if you're so hot, why don't you crush this stone with your bare hands? And she throws her through the fucking thing and goes, enjoy your first test.
Yeah.
And
he's like, you need to do this to actually learn here.
Yeah.
So get to it.
And she shuts the door and basically just says, peace. Throws up the deuces. And the girl's like,
figure it out, dummy.
And then she gets a cool pet.
Yeah.
I love that animal.
The fur worm or something.
I really hope it doesn't evolve into anything cool. I just want it to be fur worm for the rest of its life. But no, she uses peasant ingenuity to be able to solve the shit.
Right.
And she uses
well, it's like
her
the
trait.
pen isn't important.
Right.
So like she was like, well, he told me that they're only like used to using this, and he's like, well, I'm used to using this certain kind of pen for my stuff. So she uses it and she draws cleaner lines with it, which just makes sense.
Yep, and that's art.
Yeah.
You're gonna be better with the tool that you know than the one that you don't. And so she basically makes a flying boat.
She takes a sail from the boat and makes like a glider with it.
That's what it is. So it's kind of like those like wind boards.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like Aang's fucking staff, pretty much.
So she makes it to the top. She makes it down. She goes, "I'm the protagonist. Sorry."
Yeah.
And,
get fucked.
Yeah. And this was the part where I was like, the teacher, I don't care how cool he is, should have open hand slapped a 9-year-old. Because what they don't say, like they tell you, but she doesn't know, is if she fails this test, she can't take it again.
Well, she knows it.
Oh,
she
does
told
she
him.
know that?
Yeah, she told her that.
Yeah, isn't that when she shuts the door?
Yeah.
She's like, yeah.
She's like, if you fail, like you're done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm sorry, but
so that's why she couldn't like quit.
Right. Yeah, because she could have gone to the door if she felt like it.
Yeah.
But yeah. But the I'm sorry. Literally, the teacher goes, "You almost fucked up my plans."
Yeah. Because if she died, like it's over.
Exactly.
Like, you can't find this guy anymore.
And it's like he should have just fucking slapped the stupid out of this fucking 9-year-old. And I don't care if she's 9. I was getting hit when I was 9. Fuck it. Like, talk shit, get hit.
Yeah.
Just,
I mean,
know.
yeah, she's a bitch.
Right? Because it's like, what do you mean you locked your fucking little brother in the furnace? Well, it's not on. I don't care. You don't do that. And that's, I don't know. So then they go to Diagon Alley.
Pretty much.
Yep. And they learn...
how the ink's made.
Yep. Which is cool. I like that they show us how the ink is made.
Yeah. And why it's special.
Tree.
Yeah.
And it's very specific branches and all that. I'm like, okay, cool.
The world's dope as fuck.
Yep.
I like it.
And I'm so excited to see more.
Yeah.
I hope we see a lot more in these next chapters. But yeah, so they main girl protagonist sees Coco.
Yeah, she's like the only person's name I remember right now.
There we go. So Coco notices out of the corner of her eye, I think she sees the masked person who gave her
I think
the book, because it's in the shopkeep's thing, and she looks out of one of those small
Yeah,
windows.
he's fucking playing her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's like, I gotta go.
Well, hold on, James. Don't forget about the very obvious love interest guy.
Hey, he might not be a love interest. He might be too autistic for love.
Dude, I like the kid's design. I actually like that kid.
Yeah. I'm very fond of old English designs, if that makes sense, right? Because he's got like the tweed like shitty thread through the thing, right? And he's got like the old like tattered shirt, and I'm like, okay, I fucking love that shit. He's a Ren Fair kid, is the best way to put it. But yeah, so Coco and crew leave because Coco leaves, and they're like, where the fuck did Coco go? She can't fucking be out on her own. This is stupid. She doesn't know shit about dick.
Is the fucking master just suck at his job or at taking care of these kids?
Probably. Well, remember, he has a live-in nanny that's better at taking care of the kids. And that's like half of that dude's job.
Yeah.
So yeah, he's like, ugh. And then the kids are gone, and then they get warped through into this magical maze hellhole with a dragon.
Yeah.
And they go, fuck. And then they have a really nice moment where even Peppy Girl goes, oh god,
this is
what do
your
we
fault.
do?
Yeah.
And she kind of has a change of heart, and so does Bitch Girl. But as you can tell, I'm still calling her Bitch Girl, so let's see if she redeems herself later. But they all use the power of teamwork to bust holes through walls, which is pretty baller.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie. And then they put the dragon to sleep.
Yeah, with like a cloud thing.
Yep, which is what Timid Girl was using, right? Or was it Peppy Girl? No, it was Timid Girl. Timid Girl was using it to try to calm down or some shit. Or calm everyone else down. And they were like, let's use this to calm the dragon down, and then maybe we can climb the tower and get the fuck out of this place. And
then they make it loop so that it does kind of subdue the dragon for longer, which is cool.
Yeah, because they kind of... It shows that, like, oh, maybe there is stuff I can learn. Specifically to the Bitch Girl.
Yeah.
That maybe I can learn from all of us, and maybe I shouldn't be pounding my head against the wall on my own.
Look at new perspectives on things.
Exactly.
Whatever.
So they get out successfully, I think, with slight help from Mage Man. Because I know he, like, catches them or whatever. He's like, what the fuck happened to you guys?
Yeah.
And then...
And Coco was gone because the masked guy took her. And was like, you're sprouting. Can't wait for this to happen.
Yep.
And then she goes back.
I'm a sex pervert. Yep, exactly. And we should mention that when Coco passes the first test, Masked Person is just chilling in that place too, going, nice.
Yeah.
And then, the Masked Person's on top of the tower with the dragon shit too, looking around, going, pretty nice. and I'm digging Masked Person more and more, just because of how...
Isn't there, like, a whole organization of those guys?
Yeah. And so we also learned that, we touched on a little bit, mages have been taking people's memory of what magic is ever since this crazy, like, magic
there was, like,
war.
an incident where they just wiped everybody except for high mages.
Yep.
And then chose disciples.
Yep. And it's like, because they were like, everybody had nukes. Everybody was willing to use nukes. We can't let people use nukes.
Yeah.
Let's stop
We can't
nukes.
let everybody have magic that can influence people.
Yep.
So they had to regulate it.
And it's like, okay, smart, fair. Can't wait to see more. Then I think we see the teacher's perspective when he goes back to the one place, right?
Which place?
He goes to talk with, I don't know if it's his master or somebody, and they're like, you can live here instead of being with those little girls, right? And he's like...
Is that when you toss to the girl?
I think so, yeah. Because it's like a library or something. And they're like, are you sure you're not doing something weird? And he's like, I'm pretty sure I'm not doing something weird. You guys would fucking kill me if I was. And they're all like, ha 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 ha. Yeah. And it's a pretty good chapter, because you see a cool girl who's actually an adult. And that's nice. And not dead like her mother, so that's nice. It's not just a pedophile and his 4
9-year-old girls.
Yeah. Yep. And then I think that leads into us learning about the new guy that lives with them, who was, I don't know, jerking off in his room for the past week and a half or some shit, because Coco never saw him until now.
Yeah.
Right? And honestly, his magic is my favorite so far. The stone, the light up stones.
Yeah.
Like, that's a super
Wasn't
cool...
he about to take Coco in?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, he's like, who's this? Don't worry about it. Nah, it's my job to worry about it. Who dis?
Yeah, because what is it legally? He can't just take a new apprentice. Why was he about to take her in?
Wait, what are you guys talking
The
about?
dude,
He didn't want her there. He wanted her gone.
He's gonna take her into the government.
Yeah, he was gonna like jail her.
Yeah,
pretty much.
And I don't remember why he wanted to. Like the exact
because she wasn't allowed.
Okay.
Well, it's just because like this is the same reason why the girl doesn't like her. Like she didn't.
She's peasantry.
Yeah, she didn't.
So is Kakashi allowed to take?
Well, like peasants, or but I'm assuming they can't just like I like the cut of your jib. You're gonna be my apprentice every day.
Yeah,
Like it has to be regulated.
And I
So
think,
he hasn't gone through all the. So she is illegal right now.
Yeah,
Correct.
yeah.
Okay.
But she did pass the test technically, so then he was like that. You don't have to worry about it. Like you're actually an apprentice at this point.
Why would he not tell? Okay.
Because
he has to let them know why he took her in, and then he'd have to explain. She saw my magic. She also had this book of forbidden magic.
Yeah. She's pretty close with this thing.
Yeah.
So we kind of need her.
If they knew that, they'd either wipe her memory completely, or I think they talk about how they might have to kill her. Cause like her mom or whatever. I think they're like, we might have to get rid of her.
Sure.
If it's dire. Because it's like, well, the magic
she can't
killed
go
her mom.
back. Period.
Yeah.
Her mom's not dead. She's just
Yeah,
resting.
but-
She's resting right now.
Well, they can't fix her. So
Yeah. They need the masks to fix her. What is this, fucking Bionicle? Jesus Christ. But then they get their cool Full Metal Alchemist scene with their teacher, where they go, "Help! The river sucks. Help us save our peeps."
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, they were explaining like the wizards. Their job is kind of to help people,
Right.
Mm-hmm.
which is like something that was cool that like they're established in the world as like helpers.
Mm-hmm. Which is a good way to try to wipe away your bloody history of causing nukes.
Yeah.
But yeah, they go into really in depth about like the reason why they have the rings and the swords and the boots is so that nobody can see how magic is done. So like all the runes on the sword cause, and Kakashi literally is breaking a raging river just by having a sword in front of him, and the sword's runes basically say, "I will split all water within my blade."
Well, you can
sort of
cut
shit.
liquid.
Yeah. And I don't remember what the ring dude does with his rings in that moment. I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember
He does something
exactly.
cool. But basically, everything's okay, and they're like, "Okay, you guys just take care of the people. We don't use magic because you're apprentices, and these people are people with eyeballs."
They can't do it in front of them.
Yeah.
Fuck up, we'll kill you.
Yep. We've been over this. We'll, you know. And then there's a kid who falls in the water, or it's like a
They
mother
fall off
and a child or something.
Yeah, some guy falls off the cliff and gets trapped by a boulder, and Coco also falls.
And she's also trapped, but not as trapped.
Am I wrong? Because I remember like the kid that falls in, he's like, "I'm gonna go do something. I'm gonna go save somebody or do something." And his grandpa's like, "No, Johnny, don't do that." And he goes and does it.
He might have.
Fails immediately.
He's trapped.
Yeah.
I think that's exactly what happened.
I think that's right.
I think that is right.
It's like dumbass.
But I think the last bit of the chapter is Coco's kind of stuck too, and bitch girl is like,
I don't know if she's stuck per se like the other person, or
Yeah.
they're like trapped.
right. I think she just can't get back up, and she can't
Yeah.
reach boy.
Yeah.
But she's like, I can see stuff, so I can
She
maybe
also,
help.
yeah, she like laid out the situation, but she doesn't have anything that can help her do magic.
And so bitch girl has a moment of, well, do I use my magic to literally save these people? But if I do, these people watching will see me do magic.
But then you can just MIB mind race them.
Yeah. And it's like, eee! And then to be continued is where we left off, because that's chapter 10, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, real quick, my favorite spell from bearded pedophile cop is he has magic that has.
Well, he's not a pedophile. He's totally against bringing his girl in.
No, exactly. He's a pedophile cop. So
okay.
I said that wrong.
Yeah.
He's a cop against pedophiles.
You said it like that was another title he had.
Yeah, pedophile cop. And he is required to live in the pedophile's house to make sure he doesn't commit crimes, is actually kind of what his whole job is. Is they say.
Well, he watches a bunch of Ateliers, I believe.
Yeah, which is why I think he wasn't there.
Yeah.
He wasn't just in his room. But yeah, so they know he's like the Secret Service, where he's like, you ain't doing any crime, right? And they're like, nope. And he's like, Okay. And then he goes to the next house. You ain't doing any crimes, right? And he's the KGB, so he can just come in whenever he wants.
Yeah.
But yeah, his magic is super dope because it's a magic he designed. He said, where it's a flagstone, like for walking on, and the underside of the stone has half the circle, and where the stone touches when you step on it, creates a circle that lights up the stone itself, so you can see where you're walking. And Coco freaks the fuck out, and she's like, "This is by far the coolest thing I've ever seen."
Yeah.
He kind of warms up.
He's
to her,
like, "All right, kid, you're cool."
9-year-olds are okay.
It's like, if we memory wipe her, she won't love my thing anymore.
Yeah,
That's lame.
I can't have it. But yeah, no, I want to keep reading it.
I like it.
So,
The art's way too fucking good.
there's 40 chapters so far, like 44
Something like
or
that.
something. Do you think you can stick out 44 chapters?
I mean, majority rule.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna enjoy it, but
Damn.
You might.
it's gonna be me going, "Oh, that's cool." So
Well,
2 out of 3. So
that's all right. I'll have some combat for you next manga, Darius. Don't you worry. It's not even a dig. I just know you're more of a fan of like shonen as a whole.
no, I just don't like. I'm just not connected with the characters.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with that. Just the characters. I'm not.
Not even bitch girl. She's about to graduate from not being bitch girl.
No,
baby.
the character I like the most is Preppy Girl.
Is that
Not Preppy. Like just Spunky Girl.
Yeah, the peppy girl.
Yeah,
Peppy.
Peppy Girl. But I like Dude with Beard too. So maybe if I get more time with him.
Yeah, Beard Dude's pretty cool. I was super right though. This is totally just the scene in Full Metal Alchemist where their teacher shows up and saves the town from the raging water.
Yeah.
Like she just magic fix it. You guys want to be apprentices? Yeah. Yeah. No, I dig it. I'm excited.
I like it.
Yeah. I think just like usual, Noah's gonna read it in 2 Fridays, and I'm gonna read it tonight.
Yeah.
So, but that's okay. Shit, I think that's all I got.
That's all I have.
Yeah. Ending question.
Yeah. Oh, my ass. Ugh. That's not the question.
If you can design a magical spell to benefit you in your life, you can only design one. What spell would it be?
I feel like I need more limitations. I need more knowledge on what I'm allowed to do with this spell.
You can make the spell do whatever you want. It's magic.
Like a genie wish at that point.
Yeah, right.
Like, what do you really want?
I want the power of creation at God level. That's my magic. I'm at my house and I go, I'm a little poor this month, and I make myself a bar of gold. And I go, tunk.
That's a nice spell. That's a
is.
very good spell.
You're gonna get some knocks at your door for sure, though.
That's all right. Hopefully, whatever government's okay with just being like, you keep doing what you're doing, but like, pass us some.
Dude, they would shoot you in the fucking head.
Nah, they couldn't. I got the power of creation.
Oh, I mean, if you can just bend reality to your will, then it doesn't matter.
Exactly.
I thought it was specifically, I can just make gold.
Oh no!
They
I
would
said
fucking
the
kill
power
you
of
dead.
creation.
Yeah. Well, that's just like you get everything with that.
Hey,
Like,
this cunt left it open.
yeah.
Don't look at me.
Like, why choose when you can have everything?
Yeah. But no, I don't know. Honestly, if it was something that it could only benefit me, so it's not something like material gain, I'd probably do something magic spell wise that makes it so like my body just perfectly absorbs everything that it intakes. So like I don't have to go to the bathroom because my body perfectly absorbs everything.
Okay.
Dude, going to the bathroom is the most annoying part of the day.
Learned something new about you. I didn't know you hated going to the bathroom.
I hate everything that stops me from doing the things that I'm doing. It's like bathrooms. I hate taking showers. They're nice, but like if I could be clean forever and never have to take another shower again, I would never take another shower.
Wow.
Yeah.
No.
Shit, I don't know. Give me like an infinite sketchbook. That'd be dope.
Fuck yeah. And you can just
Yeah.
ink in your pen by just flipping it.
Yeah.
Like.
That'd be sick.
I'll probably do a spell that like would boost my like body, as in like to like peak physical performance.
But without changing your actual physical body.
No, you can change it.
Okay.
I'm okay with that.
Well, I just mean, I guess then that's an open-ended question, though, right? So does that mean that you become The Rock? Because do you really want that body? Because that shit's disgusting. I wouldn't want to just go.
I was thinking more like just like washboard ribs and just like.
But is that peak humanity?
Or steroid body, peak humanity.
Yeah, right.
I don't know. That's a good question.
Right,
I guess we'll find out.
That's true.
That's a monkey paw right there.
Yeah, you become Timmy Turner in the episode where like he's like, I want to be the strongest man on the beach, and the whale goes up and he just.
I guess we'll find out because then I could join the NFL and wreck.
That's true. They test your blood and they go, he's literally not on anything. I don't know.
How do we detect magic? We need a spell to detect magic. Fuck.
That's a chicken and the egg situation right there.
Yeah.
Ugh.
I'll be fucking 90 years old still in the fucking NFL.
Yeah. Here's the
You're like,
question.
let me retire. It's like, you're the GOAT.
If you could become the best at any sport and be like that, what sport would you pick?
Football.
Really?
Yeah.
What about basketball?
Fuck football, dude.
All right.
You'd get fucking
Because you're going to
taken
get your
out.
fucking head destroyed
Yeah.
and you're going to pull a Benoit.
Right.
My head's not gonna get destroyed because I'm
No,
amazing.
this is a different thing.
Yeah.
It's a
you-
separate question.
Peak
If the
performance.
question was, you become the best at this sport, and you can do a similar thing like you said, where you're playing until you're 65, but like,
Football.
football?
Yeah.
You want to pull a Benoit, all right.
No,
you
it's
have
just-
to pick
I-
a sport that's like one of the best, right?
Yeah.
I think
Who
football.
wants to be the best at like croquet?
What do you mean?
know?
I think
You mean
football's
American
just.
football, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it's just like one of the ultimate team sports, and I love working with a team
Yeah,
because boxing is just solo.
that's true.
Basketball is kind of team sport, but you don't know anybody on LeBron's team. You don't know anybody else's name on LeBron's team, do you?
Yeah,
No.
but
Hell, I don't even know
Jordan,
what team LeBron's on.
Jordan had a stacked team.
Yeah, you know 3 people on the Bulls:
Pippen, Rodman.
Scotty. Scotty, Rodman, and then Jordan.
Yeah.
He nailed it.
That's what I'm saying.
He
You don't.
answered your
You
question, is
you-
all I'm saying.
exactly. That's what I'm saying. You're like you don't know. Like
Yeah, but like, I mean, Jordan wouldn't have been as good as he was without them. Like, they faltered when like Pippen
True.
like, stepped out.
but there's what.
You're looking at me, and I don't know why you're doing that.
There's more people on that court that also helped him, but
Yeah.
no one fucking cares.
I mean, it's still like Jordan.
Except
but-
like diehard basketball fans. Diehard basketball fans care, but
They'd probably
like
be like, "Hey, motherfucker, you know
yeah,
about
the 95 Bulls. I know the whole lineup. but
that towel boy did work."
yeah, but yeah, it's a team sport. Football is
I think it's easier to glorify a single player in basketball than
Yeah.
it is in football, and I think that's why.
Even then, though,
no
we glorify.
people glorify the fuck out of QBs.
Yeah, because it's like,
Yeah.
who the fuck played with Peyton Manning? You don't know.
Yeah,
He's played in like 7 different teams, and we don't know.
Right. But I think like when the team as a whole connects better, it's seen more.
Yeah, I
in,
think
like the individual.
I think our
don't know.
era of basketball is more solo, which is what you're kind of
Because
saying.
like you see like the person dunking more,
yeah,
right? Well,
that's
like you can
media.
also see like runners like run the ball in, and like that's kind of the equivalent, I guess. I guess you could like say, oh, the QB threw it to him, but I don't know.
I think I'd change my answer from basketball to soccer
Yeah.
because I
Go
feel like
messy rep.
yeah, because I feel like soccer is a nice team sport, kind of like what you're saying, where it's not all about you.
Yeah,
but
but
it-
then you'd have to wear Pumas.
Yeah.
Fuck that.
Yeah, I've got a pair of Pumas.
I don't know. I just like Adidas.
Hey man, you can sign that shoe deal.
I'm sure.
Sign a Yeezy shoe deal for soccer, dude.
At-
First.
At the
Easy
level that
cleats.
James is talking about that he'll perform, they'll let you wear any fucking thing you want.
That's fair.
You come in
That's
there
not
with
true.
some
It's all
New
money at
Balances.
that point.
Yeah, it could go either way.
Well, Jordan didn't want Nike. Like, he was insulted that Nike was like, you have to come to us. And he's like, fuck you. He ended up doing it because his mom was like, you should probably do this. But he didn't like Nike until they were like, we'll give you millions of dollars.
What did he like Adidas? Or?
I think he wanted Adidas. Yeah. But I don't think Adidas, like, kind of did anything to him. But Nike's like, we want you. And he was super mad that they were like, you have to come to us for this meeting. He's like, I'm Michael Jordan. Like, you come to me.
I vaguely on that topic, one of our teachers at AI, he worked with Michael Jordan on a like sports game, and he hated him.
Yeah,
Michael Jordan had to do mocap.
From what I heard, Jordan's the type of person who's like, I forgot who he was compared to in that way, or it was like Kobe or something. Like, Kobe was like, I need to beat you at basketball, but Jordan's like, I need to beat you in everything.
Yeah, Jordan's fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Like, he was insane.
But yeah, like, Jordan brought his like 15-year-old daughter to the thing, and they were like, okay, why, what? And they're like, well, just keep her entertained. And they're like,
yeah, this isn't a daycare.
that's not what this is, dude. You need to get in the fucking suit. Like, we're literally already paid you for your time. Do your job. And, like, he just was like, fuck you guys. So they're like, okay, cool. Go tell your bosses. We don't care. Like,
I'm trying to figure out what motion capture do you need a 60-year-old Michael Jordan for?
it wasn't, like, recent.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. It was, like, 2005.
Oh.
Like, it was like, when they first started mocapping motherfuckers.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah, of course you want Jordan for the moves. That makes sense, yeah.
Yep. So yeah, it was like a big whole bullshit thing. I think it was Kip. It was either Kip or it was
it was probably Kip.
Yeah.
I think he did sports stuff like that.
Yeah. But yeah, fun stuff. But no, I was because I've been reading that Blue Lock and everything, that soccer manga. Just
you started reading it?
I finished it already.
Is it good?
It's amazing. It's one of the best things I've read.
Oh shit!
It's one of the best sports things I've ever read.
Dang.
Why haven't you told me?
As good.
Dang.
I did tell you.
Did you?
Yeah, I said I finished what's there. I'm still waiting on more chapters. It's ballin'. Like, watch the anime if it gets done.
Okay.
It's fucking amazing. But no, I really like the soccer fit body type.
Yeah.
So if I can become the best of a sport, I want that body.
All that cardio.
Yeah, dude.
Dude, I'm scared of soccer from it's just running.
Oh, the legs. Yeah.
Just that cardio, dude.
Sure.
Soccer's always been scary to me from all that running.
Getting taken out.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
that's not good.
He's not that scared of getting taken out if he's going football.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I feel that. That's a whole, like, I feel like my heart would fucking stop. Yeah, dude, one of the cool things, one of the cool things about Blue Lock is that everybody's a forward, and at some point they have to make a team, and they're all forwards.
Yeah.
But it's a team of 9 people, and they have to play full games, so there's no subs. So they are running as forwards the entire game, and, like, the whole thing is trying to get, score goals, because they're trying to make the perfect Japanese, like, forward. And so all of them are gunning at 110% every game. And you're like, oh, this is the hypest shit.
Wow.
Oh, man. I legitimately, I think you'd love it. Like, this is the thing that would get people who aren't into sports, mangas, into sports. Because it's like, it's so very shonen in that way of like, I'm going to be number fucking 1. And my teammates are worth it. And, like, I want them to succeed. But I need to succeed. And it's like, So it's like a whole team of fucking Kuwabaras, right? Everyone's a rival. And so everyone is, like, feeding off of each other's energy. And there's, like, a whole bit where, like, the main character talks about it. And he's like, I need to pick these people for my team because I can spark a chemical reaction with them. And then we can play off each other better. And, like, there's a moment where he looks at a dude and he's like, I picked the other guy. Fuck you. And the dude's just like, and they just leave. Damn. And it's just like, oh my god.
Wow.
Oh man, dude, it's so good. But yeah, Blue Lock's great. Keep reading Little Witch Hat Atelier. You called it Little Witch earlier.
No, I didn't.
You did?
I said Little Witch because you said it.
Oh, okay. So No, I didn't. Okay, well, I did, but fuck you.
Well, I didn't call it it. I was whatever.
I'm sorry. I was very confused. Yeah, I said the words, but like, I get it though. Yeah, you're making a joke on my wrist. Yeah. Answer the question. What magical device or magical spell would you use to change your life? Right?
Didn't you answer? I was pretty sure everybody answered it. Oh, you were talking to them.
Talk to the audience.
You were just like looking at Darius, and I'm like, I'm pretty sure
Yeah.
you answered.
He likes
this.
looking at me for some reason.
I was trying to confirm that was the question, and then you were a stone face, and I'm like, okay, fine, fucker. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys.
Yeah, thank you for taking time every day to listen to us.
Bye-bye.
About to go try some ghost pepper wings from Burger King.
Don't call them wings. Don't give them
or nuggets.
Dude,
It's about to be
they
it's gonna be a
can't-
mistake.
They can't be spicy.
They can't be, but I gotta try them.
I'll try one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
fuck it. Let's rock and roll.
Dude,
gonna
that'll
be
be
a
the
mistake.
first Burger King I've had in like 4
And it's
years.
gonna be
Same
shit.
here.
It's gonna
like
be
last
so
time.
bad.
Same
dude.
here, dude. I haven't had burger. I can't remember the last time I had Burger King.
Dude, I got like this sauteed onion burger like a few years ago, and like I couldn't finish it. It was so
surprised.
fucking bad.
I'm sure it was disgusting.
Like it literally.
Did they saute
kept
the
me
onions
going.
in the microwave?
Probably, yeah. Like it was like a jelly. It was bad. Yeah,
Oh,
it wasn't
don't tell me
good.
that. Ugh. Thanks, guys. Have a good one. Peace.